A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
A Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness.
Welcome now to our show. Here's a friend you all know. Charlotte Greenwood is with us again.
The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show, brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards. And here is our star, the lovable lady of stage and screen, Charlotte Greenwood. The newspaper which lets Charlotte Greenwood start working as a reporter to get background for a movie and hasn't yet found a way to make it stop. But here's Charlotte on the telephone talking to her manager, Roger Humphrey, in Hollywood. I wonder what she's saying.
Yes, Roger, I'm leaving for Hollywood tonight on the 11 o'clock plane. They took a mailbag off to put me on. Of course I like to fly. You said yourself I was air-minded. Oh, you said I was lightheaded. No, Roger, I won't let them put me off no matter who's got a priority. If they do, I'll hang on to the rudder or something. If you look up and see a B-19 with a bump on its tail, tip your hat. It might be me. Say, Roger, I'll be home for Thanksgiving. Call my house and tell them to get a turkey. Yeah, tell them not to get one like we had last year. That bird was strictly GI. Gizzard and indigestion. Roger, I'll have to hang up now. I must get my bags out of Mr. Anderson's office. He's the city editor? Yes, he's going to take me out to the airport. Oh, he's so nice to me. He says he never knew how happy a newspaper office could be until I came, and then it was too late. Roger, so long. I'll see you in Hollywood tomorrow. Bye. California,
Yes, I understand, Mr. Birch, but... Well, yes, Mr. Birch, but it wasn't my fault. Well, no, I don't know who did it.
Excuse me, Mr. Anderson.
Just a second. Charlotte, can't you see I'm on the phone?
Don't mind me. I just want to look through my bags to see if I packed something.
Well, all right, but don't interrupt. The boss is bawling me out.
Oh, here's the bag I want.
Hello, Mr. Birch. As I said, I don't know who's responsible, but I'll find out where the trouble lies.
I am positive it's right here.
I'm positive it's right here. No. You keep quiet. No, not you, Mr. Birch. Yes, I understand. It's a regrettable slip.
It is not. It's a flannel nightgown.
The flannel night? No! I'm sorry, Mr. Birch. Charlotte, go away. No, I'm not crazy.
Oh, I just got to have my flannel nightgown.
I've got to have my flannel nightgown. No, Granny. Oh, look, Mr. Birch. Charlotte is in here trying to find her clothes.
All I want is my flannel nightgown.
All she wants is a flannel nightgown. No, she's not going to bed. She's going to California. Wants to know if you're going to California in a nightgown.
No, in an airplane.
No, in an Hello? Oh, fine. He hung up. Now he is sore. And I don't blame him after the boner somebody in his office pulled.
Well, everybody makes mistakes. Just take me. Now, I know I packed that flannel
Will
nightgown.
Will you stop with that flannel nightgown? This is serious. You know those editorials I've been running about the housing shortage?
Yes, isn't it terrible? You know, I heard about a lady who hung a carpet on her clothesline. Before she could beat it, 3 families were living under it.
Well, it's worse than that. And the reason I was running those editorials was to interest the Cosmopolitan Insurance Company.
But the Cosmopolitan sells insurance, not houses.
I know, but they're the firm that's been putting up those big housing developments. They sent an important official out to see me. But the man never got into this office. Some nitwit office boy kept him from seeing me.
Maybe it wasn't an office boy.
How do you mean?
Well, somebody might have thought that he was trying to sell insurance, and they might have thought that you were busy, and
nonsense. What moron would take a man like that for an insurance salesman?
Well, he looked exactly like an insurance salesman.
I don't care if he... Charlotte, do you mean that you turned him away?
Well, I'll straighten everything out, Mr. Anderson. I'll cancel my trip. I'll stay here.
Oh, no, you won't stay here. You're going to take that 11 o'clock plane for Hollywood if I have to tie you to a seat.
I can't go till I find my flannel nightgown.
Flannel nightgown. Don't tell me you need a flannel nightgown in sunny California. Don't tell me the nights are ever cold in Hollywood.
All right.
All right, what?
All right, I won't tell you. The Chamber of Commerce won't let me.
Come on, let's get out to the airport.
Flight 3 for Cheyenne, Salt Lake, and Los Angeles. Now loading at gate number 9.
Come on, Charlotte, that's your plane.
Oh, Mr. Anderson, do you think I have time to run out to my cottage?
That place you rented out of the lake? For heaven's sake, why?
I just remembered that's where I left my flannel nightgown.
Look, Charlotte, get on the plane. As soon as I put the paper to bed, I'll go out to your cottage, get your nightgown, and send it airmail. You'll have it by tomorrow night. Now, come on. Here's the stewardess.
Your ticket, please. Oh, yes, you're Miss Greenwood. You're in seat 7.
Oh, mind if I come in the plane and get her settled?
Why, no, sir, only we're taking off in a minute.
Yeah, I know, and I want to make sure she takes off, too. She's got to get to Hollywood or I'll go nuts.
Well, anybody can see we're both on our way.
Come on, right up the steps, Charles.
Oh, Mr. Anderson, don't push me. Don't push.
Have your seat right up here, Miss Greenwood, right beside this gentleman.
What? Oh, would you like to sit next to the window?
Oh, thank you. I love windows in an airplane. They're the only windows you can look out and nobody can look in.
Well, Charlotte, are you perfectly comfortable? Nothing you'd like to get off for before you leave the ground?
No, and after you leave the ground, that first step is a bad one.
Yes. All right then, Charlotte. The time has come for us to part. I won't say au revoir, because that means till we meet again.
Well, then why don't you say the bundle's at the laundry?
What's that mean?
Goodbye forever.
All right. The bundle's at the laundry. The lark is on the wing. And all's well with the world. Goodbye.
Don't forget my flannel nightgown.
Fasten your seatbelts, please. Fasten your seatbelts.
Oh, dear. How does this fasten?
Pardon me. May I help you? It goes like this. I'll do it. Hey, all right.
Oh, it's just like a pair of galoshes, only they're higher up. Thank you, Mr.
Greer. My name's Greer, Charles Greer.
Oh, mine's Greenwood. Charlotte Greenwood.
Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Greenwood.
Oh, it's not Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Oh, we're going up?
Yeah.
Oh, and there's Mr. Anderson down there. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson, goodbye.
Wait a minute. Where is your friend? I don't see him.
Well, he's the one at the edge of the crowd.
Which one?
The one that's dancing.
Christmas is the time, above all others, for thinking of our friends and letting them know it. This wartime year, so many will need that comforting assurance. So many families whose Christmas will be lonely because some loved one is away. And that's why it's really worthwhile to share Christmas through thoughtful cards. Your Hallmark dealer will help you find the very card you're looking for. Perhaps a card that bridges distance with a Merry Christmas across the miles. You may choose cards with the homey charm of an old-fashioned white Christmas, or beautiful cards whose messages bring a spiritual lift and a new hope for peace on earth. There's always a Hallmark card that says just what you'd like to say and the way you'd like to say it. Why not make your selection this week? Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. Remember, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now Charles Hathaway, his orchestra, and the Hallmark Chorus in California, Here I Come.
California, here I come. I stand where I started from. A flower bloom in the sun. Each morning the dawning bird is singing everything I've done. Is Mr. George Delay. That's why I can hardly wait. Open up that golden gate, California, here I come.
Charlotte is on her way to Hollywood, leaving behind her a vacant cottage. And now, before we join her on the westbound plane, let's look into a real estate agent's house in Lakeview.
I'm sorry to wake you up this time of night, Mrs. Morton, but I've just got to have that house.
But it's Miss Greenwood's cottage, and our lease doesn't expire for some time yet.
Oh, look, I haven't even a place to sleep tonight. Now, please.
Well, just while Miss Greenwood's gone, then.
Well-
Wait here, and I'll get you the key.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a million. I'll go right out to the cottage.
All right. I'll wire Miss Greenwood tomorrow, because she's on an airplane going to Hollywood right now.
Do you play tic-tac-toe, Mr. Greer?
No, Miss Greenwood, but could I show you a few new tricks?
I doubt it.
You see, tricks is my hobby. You know, I have a pair of trick handcuffs. You put them on a man, and he can't get away until you say the magic word.
Hey, that's something that every girl ought to have.
Yeah, and I also know the Indian rope trick. You know, a man can throw the rope in the air and disappear completely.
Uh-huh. That's what happened to the man who used to bring me butter.
Oh, I know all kinds of tricks. Look, just a minute. Now, wait. You think up a number, and I'll guess what it is.
All right.
What is it?
7.
Right. Absolutely right.
Is that all there is of it?
Yeah, it's just a trick. Just try it again. Think up another number.
Well, now, just a minute now. All right, I'm ready.
What is it?
3,547.
Right, absolutely right. Right on the nose.
Well, I don't get it. Now, here, let me try it. You think of a number.
All right, you're going to think of it. All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah? Well, what is it?
9 and 7 8.
Darn it, wrong. What's me?
Fasten your seatbelts, please. We're landing.
Landing? My goodness, we can't be in Los Angeles already.
No, Miss Greenwood, we're landing back at Lakeview.
But we just left like you.
Well, the pilot just received a storm warning. The flight is being canceled.
Oh, you mean we'll have to wait for the next plane?
There aren't any more planes tonight.
Oh, piss, tush, and stuff. That means that I'll just have to stay over. I hope I can get a room.
Mr. Greer, I know everybody in Lakeview. I can find you a room in a matter of minutes.
How many minutes?
Think of a number.
15.
Oh, you cheated. This is the new plaza, Mr. Greer.
Oh.
Yes, it's the best hotel in town. I know Mr. Williams, the night manager, personally. I'm sure I can get you a room.
Well, I'm certainly glad I met you. Where else could I get a room at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Well, just come right up to the desk,
Yeah.
Mr. Greer, and put your bags down there. Oh, Mr. Williams?
Well, Miss Greenwood.
Well, how are you, Mr. Williams? And how is Mrs. Williams and all the little Williamses?
Oh, they're fine, just fine. And how are you all?
We all is fine, too.
Oh, that's good.
I'd like to have you meet Mr. Greer. He's a stranger in town, and...
Well, welcome to Lakeview, Mr. Greer. Welcome to Lakeview. We'll do everything we can to make your visit a pleasant one.
Well, that's wonderful, Mr.
Yes.
Williams. You see, Mr. Greer wants a room.
He wants a what?
A room.
A room?
He wants a room. Well, he sounds like my butcher when I ask for bacon. Come on, Mr. Greer.
Sorry, we haven't a room in the Lakeview house.
No, everything's taken at the Ritz Lakeview.
Look, we even got a family in the telephone booth.
Oh, you talk to the clerk. I'm going to sit down a minute. I'm so tired.
Oh, Mr. Greer, not on the floor.
Yeah, but the chairs are full of people.
Let me see now. I could put him in 430, but I'd have to move one of the men in 430 into 520, and that would mean too many in 520, and somebody'd have to go to 716. You think it's going to rain?
What's rain got to do with it?
Well, if it rains, I got to move everybody back to 430. That's the room that don't leak.
Well, I wouldn't know about rain. I'm from California.
I can see it. Well, I can see it starting to sprinkle now. Guess you better try somewhere else.
Let's go, Mr. Greer.
Oh, look, are we going to spend all night looking for a room?
Remember, Mr. Greer, Rome wasn't built in a day.
I'm sorry, mister. No room. Besides, you'll find a...
Rooms? Are you kidding?
Miss Greenwood. I'm not going a step farther.
Now, be patient, Mr. Greer. We're bound to find something.
No, sir. I'm putting my foot down.
Well, don't put it down there. It's in a puddle of water.
I'm tired of being dragged around this town. I'm tired of walking in the rain. I'm tired.
Well, you're tired. So am I tired, but I'm only trying to help.
You're trying to what?
Help! Help!
Just a minute, lady.
Oh, hello, officer.
What's going on? Is this little sawed-off runt annoying you? I lock him up for the night.
Oh, you will be.
Lock me up. For you will?
Oh, don't pay any attention to him, officer. I have everything under control.
Who are you people, anyhow?
Well, I'm Charlotte Greenwood from the Post Dispatch.
Oh, Post Dispatch?
That's right. I have a card in my purse here somewhere. Now, see, now. Oh, yeah, there you are.
Oh. Well, it's pretty late, Miss Greenwood. Whoever your friend is, I think you better get him home. Good night.
Oh, you spoiled it again. A nice jail. A nice, comfortable jail.
Well, look here. In my purse all the time, the keys to my cottage.
Well, cottage? You've got a cottage? And you've been dragging me all around the town? Do you know what I think of you?
Well, I'm not very good at guessing right now, but I can look at your face and tell what you're thinking word for word.
Right, absolutely right.
Charlotte, what are you going to sing today?
Wendell, we got a release of a brand new song by Jerome Kern.
Jerome Kern. Well, didn't he write a show for you in London?
Yes, he wrote a score for me called Three Sisters.
What happened to the other two?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Charlotte Greenwood introducing Can't Help Singing.
Can't help singing of a promise that April is bringing. I am floating along on the crest of a song. There are bells in my heart and they're ringing. Can't help growing. Folks don't like it, I know, but I'm glowing. I can't help what they say. Spring affects me that way. And I gotta keep singing all day. Oh, mockingbirds and hummingbirds must wait for the tree. But hearts that can sing don't need a season or reason. Hummingbirds, mockingbirds, listen to me. I got no nest, I got no tree. Oh, but I'm happy as heaven is wide. I got a song bubbling inside. Can't help singing of a promise that April is bringing. Oh, we're floating along on the crest of a song. There are bells in my heart and they're ringing. Can't help growing. Folks don't like it, I know, but I'm glowing. I can't help what they say. Bring a back that way. And I gotta keep singing for joy that it's bringing. I gotta keep singing all day.
When you want to remember a friend with a card, chances are you take special pains to find a card you'll be proud to send. Well, there's one easy way to be sure that your card is the very finest. Just look on the back for the identifying words, a Hallmark card. Like the word sterling on silver, the words a Hallmark card on the back of the card you send is your assurance of quality. Quality well known to discriminating people for more than 30 years. So when you're looking for a card to say just what you want to say, and just the way you want to say it, a card that lets your friends know you care enough to send the very best, look for that Hallmark imprint. Because a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Well, Charlotte tramped poor Mr. Greer all over Lakeview trying to find him a room. Then remembered she still had the keys to her cottage at the lake. But she doesn't know that a man has already leased her cottage and is now asleep in what used to be her bedroom. So now, somewhat after 3 in the morning, we find the two going up the cottage steps.
Now, if I can just find my keys again. Yes, here they are.
No, it's just very nice of you.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Now, look here. Now, that's enough. You can't go on like that all night. Now, come on inside.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that's strange. The door is unlocked.
You must have gone away without locking it.
You know, sometimes I do the funniest things.
Yes, I've noticed.
Now, wait till I turn on the light. Yeah. There. Now, you can make yourself comfortable right in front of that fireplace.
Yeah, in this wet cloth?
Well, I've got a flannel nightgown I can let you wear.
Your flannel nightgown on me?
I know it wouldn't be a perfect fit, but after all, who's going to see it?
Oh, who's going to see it? Oh, I won't wear it. I positively refuse.
Now, don't start that again. Now, bless you once more.
Oh, thank you once more.
Now, I'll go and get my flannel nightgown right away. I hope Mr. Anderson hasn't come for it already.
Well, might as well take my coat and shoes off and get comfortable. Oh, good evil.
Hey, you. What are you doing in here?
Me?
Yes, you.
Well, believe it or not, I'm waiting for a flannel nightgown.
Well, get out of this house.
Now, wait a minute. Let go of me.
Get out of here. Take it. Stay out. Oh, now what?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Anderson. I came here to pick something up.
Yeah? Pick up what?
A flannel nightgown. No, my nose! Hey, look at it!
My rent is an insane asylum. Flannel nightgown.
Oh, pardon me, sir, but who are you?
Hey, what is this? Who are you and what are you doing here?
Well, I just dropped in to pick up my
Flannel nightgown. Now listen, you.
Yes, but Mr. Greer, oh, my goodness, he's gone. Well, I've lost a man.
What are you talking about? Losing men? Or is that a joke?
Say, listen, mister, when you've lost as many men as I have, it's no joke.
Why are you in this house anyway?
Well, because it's my house. I leased it.
You leased it? Why, you're crazy. I'm the lesser. I'm the lesser and I can prove it.
You don't have to prove it. Nobody could be any lesser as you.
Now, see here, young woman.
All right, you can't throw me out again, brother. I got a fence picket here, and I'm going to holler.
Why, hello, Mr. Anderson.
No, it isn't you. It can't be. You're on a plane bound for Hollywood. I saw the plane. You couldn't have gotten off. It's too big a step even for you.
Yes. But I did get off, and I came back here to get my flannel nightgown.
What? Who is this fella?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Tom, you, of all people, alone with a man. It isn't possible.
Of course it's possible.
How many men are there in your life?
Think of a number lower than one.
Excuse me, but I just came back to get my coat and shoes.
Hold everything. Hold it. There seems to be a kind of a mix-up here. The real estate people told me this place was empty, so I moved in. But I guess they were mistaken.
Well, that might explain you. But this moronic, bedraggled nitwit here...
Oh, he's a very nice man. I met him on the plane, and his name is Mr. Greer.
Yes, Charles Greer, president of the Cosmopolitan Insurance Company.
Yeah, well, get out. This is no time to be coming around and selling shirts. Charles Greer. Charles Greer! President of Cosmopolitan Insurance.
Yes, the very same. And let me tell you something.
Why, Mr. Greer, you're all wet. This is inexcusable. Charlotte, how could you let a thing like this happen to poor Mr. Greer?
Don't you go criticizing Miss Greenwood.
I'm wrong again.
Yes, you are. If it hadn't been for her, I'd be sleeping in the streets tonight. The housing situation in this town is deplorable.
I'll say it is.
So something really ought to be done about it.
Something will be done about it as soon as I get complete facts.
Facts? Well, Mr. Gray, you've come to exactly the right person. I can give you the whole picture. Why, in 5 minutes, I can tell you everything I know.
Oh, Mr. Anderson, you can tell him everything you know in less than 5 minutes.
How many minutes?
Think of a number.
I got it.
What is it?
Right, absolutely right.
Charlotte Greenwood will be back in just a moment. Meanwhile, I want to say just this. The next time you buy a card for any occasion, look for the Hallmark imprint on the back. That imprint, a Hallmark card, is always your assurance of finest quality. It tells your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Yes, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now, Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, there's nothing requires so little and returns so much as being friendly. A pleasant good morning, a word of encouragement, an occasional phone call or note. Take only a moment, but the effect may be forever. We strive a lifetime to lay up riches, yet what can these bring if we lack friendship? Without that, all other gains are meaningless and empty. But no man is poor who has a friend. And now, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friends, until we meet again. So long, neighbor, till next Sunday. I just say, so long, so long.
Hathaway, his orchestra, and the Hallmark Chorus came to you from Hollywood. This is Wendell Niles speaking. This is the Blue Network.
1230 KECA, Los Angeles.
Remember, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show. And here she is, that lovable lady of stage, screen, and radio, Charlotte Greenwood.
Hello, friends, and thank you, Wendell. Wendell, today we're telling a new version of that old story about how boy meets girl.
Ah, romance. It must be wonderful to meet someone you love who loves you. How do you think about love, Mrs. Greenwood?
Constantly. And it isn't Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Greenwood is brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards. Remind you that whenever you want to remember someone, you'll find a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say, the way you want to say it. So when you choose a card, look on the back for the 3 identifying words, a Hallmark card. Yes, don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. To the Barton home where Charlotte is raising the 3 Barton youngsters, Barbara, Bobby, and Jack. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and
a key rattled stealthily in a lock. The front door opened softly, and...
Jack, is that you? Yes, Charlotte. But you didn't have to wait up to see what time I came in. I'm old enough to look out for myself.
Well, I didn't wait up to see what time you came in. I waited to tell you that Mr. Pinker phoned you this evening.
Oh, the boss, huh? Gee, what did he want?
He wanted to know if you mailed the letter he gave you.
Oh, sure I mailed it. You know how I am, always putting my shoulder to the wheel.
Uh-huh. You ought to pick out a wheel that doesn't get powder all over your coat.
Oh. You see, Aunt Charlotte, I had a date with Hortense. I made quite a hit with her.
So it appears. Who is Hortense?
Oh, you wouldn't know her. She just moved here from Mound City. Oh, but she's been everywhere. Chicago, New York, and even Paris. The fellow who dates her gets a prize.
Yes? What's the prize?
Well, she is. I mean, she's not like other girls. She won't even say yes to my spending a dime on her.
You mean she can't talk?
Well, sure she can talk. But she thinks I ought to save money. So does her aunt. Like this evening. I figured we'd all go out to a movie, but she suggested we drive out to the lake.
Who, Hortense?
No, the aunt. It's a swell moonlight night, and, well, she thought it'd be kind of nice.
Who, Hortense?
No, the aunt. You know, she thinks I'm pretty okay. Tonight she even kissed me.
Now you mean Hortense?
No, the aunt.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, she's a little off the beam, but she's okay. She said I was just like one of the family.
Oh, so she's already considering you one of the family, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me, Jack, you've made a hit with the aunt. Yes? This is Miss Greenwood? Oh, for goodness sake. Are you calling from Hollywood? Well, what are you doing here in Lakeview? Oh, well, you must come out for dinner. No, the children help me. Of course they help. They do the shopping with me, the housework with me, and yesterday they polished the floor with me. Yes, that's probably one of them at the door right now. All right, then. Come out tomorrow evening? Oh, I can't wait to hear all the news from Hollywood. 6 o'clock will be fine. Bye.
Pardon me, but is this Mrs. Greenfield?
No, this is Miss Greenwood.
Yes? Oh, I thought you were a Mrs.
No, I was eliminated in the semifinals. The name is Greenwood.
Oh, dear. I do hope you'll forgive me. I have such a terrible time with names. But now, faces, well, I have always said that face is the map of the soul.
Mine would only interest Rand McNally. Is there something that I can do for you?
Oh, my dear, I'd recognize you anywhere because I've seen your face so often on the stage, traveling all over the country. Isn't traveling alone difficult?
No, my face always travels with me. I never travel alone. Now, if you don't mind.
But seeing you on the stage and seeing so often, well, my dear, there's something I simply must ask you. How do you keep your figure?
Well, who else would want it?
Oh, but you do take some exercise, don't you? Tell me, my dear, have you ever tried standing on your head?
No, I never could climb up that high.
Well, yes, it is rather strenuous, but I understand it's very beneficial for the circulation and the bones and the muscles and the... Oh, dear, I'm sure there is one more thing. Oh, yes, the skin.
Well, that covers everything. Well, really, I have to start supper for the children in just a moment. Now, if there is something...
Oh, dear, and here I am, gabbing along. I'm Mrs. Mellish.
Yes?
Yes, Hortense's aunt. Oh, it was so amusing when Hortense and Jack met each other. First he sighed, then she sighed, then he sighed. Oh, really, it was a circus.
Sounds more like a sideshow.
So I thought you and I should get acquainted. I mean, with your nephew and my niece so much in love with each other.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, the dear darlings confided to me last night. They're engaged to be married.
Oh, I think you'd better come in, Mrs. Mellish.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what a lovely, lovely house. Hortense and I will enjoy living here. Oh, my dear, it's been so difficult. It's really difficult bringing up a motherless girl. And I will... Oh, that picture on the wall. Is it of you?
That is a portrait of Grandfather Barton at the age of 17.
Oh, Imagine being a grandfather at the age of 17. The reason I thought it might be you, these sunglasses, you know, when I wear them in the house, I can't recognize a thing.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Mellish.
Well, young man, just where have we met before?
I'm Jack Barton.
Oh. Well, you dear boy. I was just telling your auntie it's these glasses. I don't know what I bought them for. They make everything look positively green.
So they must come in very handy driving through traffic lights.
If you'll excuse me, I'd better be getting ready for supper.
Supper? Is it that late? Oh, really? I must be hurrying back to Hortense. I'll give her your love, Jack. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's been so nice meeting you, Miss Greenleaf.
It isn't green leaf, green branch, or green tree. It's Greenwood.
Oh, I'm so sorry. From now on, I shall try to remember, because we'll be seeing a great deal of each other. A great deal. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Mellish. Jack, how long have you known Mrs. Relish?
I don't know, just a few weeks.
Well, is there anything, serious with you and her niece?
Oh, Aunt Charlotte, are you kidding? Sure, I like Hortense, and I guess she likes me, but we're just friends. Hey, I'd better get upstairs and change clothes. Got my regular date with Janet Gregory tonight.
Are you going to tell Janet about Hortense?
Oh, look, Aunt Charlotte, there's nothing to tell. For corn's sake, I've only been out with Hortense 3 or 4 times, and her aunt always went along with it.
All right, Jack, I'll take your word for it. But Mrs. Mellish seems to think you're engaged.
She's just making conversation. Nobody's thinking of getting married. Anyhow, I have a hunch Hortense thinks I'm not good enough to marry her.
I have a hunch Mrs. Mellish thinks you're much too good to marry anybody else.
Good evening, Miss Greenwood.
Good evening, Judge Cronin. How is Lakeview's legal leading light this evening?
Oh, splendid, Miss Greenwood. Splendid.
You're just in time for supper. Jack will be downstairs in just a moment, and then we'll eat.
Oh, no. I'm on my way to the Lakeview Athletic Club. This is the night of our big show, you know.
Oh, so it is.
Yes. What I dropped in for, here. The latest report from Friendship Mine. Your investment is turning out very well. See?
Yes, sir. The mine is doing all right.
Yes, the Barton youngsters are going to be very comfortably situated. It's too bad, though, that all the returns have to go to the Barton estate. You deserve some reward yourself, you know. Well, I have to be popping along.
Oh, so soon?
I'm taking part in the show, you know. Yes, doing some imitations.
Oh, Judge, I didn't know you were gifted that way.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, but listen, see to recognize it. Hello, Archie. What's new?
Oh, that's Finnegan to the live. Do you do any others?
Not you, reckon. Oh, many more, Mr. Charles Boyer, get this. Eddie, come with me to the Casbah.
Judge, you're thrilled.
Of course, I'm only an amateur. You're a professional. Say, why don't you take part in some of our shows? Next month, we're putting on the famous drama Rain.
And you're looking for a big drip.
Yes. Now, look, Miss Greenwood, don't say that. Why, I'll venture to say you played the role of Sadie Thompson many a time.
Only once, and that was in the revised version.
Revised? Oh, you mean it had the happy ending?
Everybody was very happy when it was all over.
I don't believe a word of it, Miss Greenwood. I've seen you act many times. Many times. And you know, I have the greatest respect for your art.
You're very kind, Judge Cronin.
Oh, I have. I have the greatest respect for all actors. It's an amazing accomplishment to be able to create a character and make people believe that character is real. Real, honest-to-goodness person.
Oh, it's you, Judge Cronin.
Oh, good evening, Jack.
Gee, I thought maybe Mrs. Mellish had come back.
Mrs. Mellish? Did I hear that name right? Mrs. Mellish?
Yeah. She's the aunt of the girlfriend of Jack.
But she was here at this house? Why?
Well, mainly to tell me how much Jack and Hortense are interested in each other.
He doesn't know what she's talking about. Say, Aunt Charlotte.
Just a moment. Do you know Mrs. Mellish's name?
Well, sure.
Have you, been attentive to her?
I don't know exactly what you mean by attentive. I've taken Hortense out. We were out together last night. Drove out to the lake.
Alone?
No, Judge. No, they were well chaperoned. Mrs. Mellish went along.
Well, we were alone part of the time. Hortense and I got out of the car and walked down to the edge of the lake. But so what?
What happened then?
Well, nothing happened. I just put my arm around her and we talked.
You know what it is, Aunt Charlotte, when two hands come together?
Yes, it's 12 o'clock.
Please, Miss Greenwood, no letter. This is a very serious matter. Look, Jack, what did you say to this girl?
Well, gee, I don't remember. A fella just passes out a line, he tells her he likes her, and she's cute, and maybe someday he'd even like to marry her. All the fellas hand out a line like that.
How long were you alone?
Not very long. We didn't know it, but her aunt had gotten out of the car and was standing right near us. Kind of broke things up.
And she heard what you said?
Sure, I guess so. Hey, what's this all about anyhow?
Jack, if you have a date with Janet tonight, you'd better start your supper. Now, go in the dining room, and I'll be in there in just a moment.
Yeah, okay, Aunt Charlotte.
Judge, aren't you making a little too much fuss about all this?
Too much fuss? 3 years ago, this Mrs. Mellish and her niece figured in one of the most sensational breach of promises suits in the state.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, it is. And a year ago, they were in court again in Mount City, the same kind of suit.
But certainly you don't think...
I think the Barton estate would be well worth their making a play for.
But Jack is a minor. They couldn't legally...
Legally or not, they could create a scandal that would keep this town talking for the rest of his life. Well, I guess I'll see Mrs. Mellish and find out what kind of settlement they'll agree to.
Oh, no. Jack didn't do anything wrong. We're not making any settlements.
But Miss Greenwood...
I am not afraid of Mrs. Mellish.
Don't underrate her. She may seem stupid, but she knows precisely what she's doing. The woman's a clever operator.
As executrix of the Barton estate, I won't pay Mrs. Mellish a cent.
Oh, you can't mean that.
Not 1 penny.
Well, now, look, I dislike to remind you, Miss Greenwood, but the Barton will provide it for a businessman.
That's true.
So far, you've done very well without one, but if the manager were appointed, he might decide that paying off Mrs. Mellish is good business.
Until such a manager is appointed, I still write the check.
Oh, Miss Greenwood, don't you see what you're doing with this stubborn attitude? You're precipitating an affair that'll not only disgrace Jack, but Barbara and the whole family.
We are not paying Mrs. Mellish.
Well, unless you want a scandal, that's the only way out.
No. There's another way.
What other way?
If Jack asks Hortense to marry him,
Yeah?
he can go through with it.
When your next birthday comes along, how would you feel if your friends should forget that very special day? You'd feel sort of let down, wouldn't you? And that's what happens to almost everyone when we neglect them, whatever the day. How really worthwhile it is, then, to remember our friends with a thoughtful card. A Hallmark card that says just what you want to say, the way you want to say it. At your Hallmark dealers, you'll see a wide variety of fine cards, all of such beauty and distinction. Many with birthday messages, affectionate, clever, humorous. Many tasteful cards to carry your wedding congratulations, or your hearty wishes to married couples, young or old, on their anniversary. Of course, too, you'll want a card to say hello to that brand new baby and to some friend who is in the hospital. Your lively cheer card can mean so much. For every occasion, there's always a fine, original Hallmark card. So why not make your selection tomorrow? Remember, Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. You see, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Story. It's now around 6 o'clock for the following day, and as the door chimes.
Well, here we are, Miss Greenfield. It was just too sweet of you to ask us over. Oh, well, this is Hortense.
Oh, good evening, Hortense.
How do you do? Where's Jack?
Jack isn't here.
He isn't at home?
No, but then after all, it's the bride's prerogative to plan the wedding.
Wedding? Who said anything about a wedding? I thought they were going to pay us. Hortense, darling.
Judge,
Forgive me for keeping you waiting in the living room. This is Mrs. Mellish and her niece. Judge Cronin is our attorney.
Attorney? So you've already called in an attorney. Oh, my poor little Hodgkin. He's so sweet and so innocent. And you've gone on a journey to get rid of him.
Madam, if you please.
Oh, how can you treat us this way? How dare Jack Barton cast us aside like
an old shoe?
Yes, thank you, dear. Like an old shoe.
Now, look, please, these tears are needless. All this will be settled.
What kind of settlement?
Yes, why did you say so?
I don't think you understand. We mean, if you children are in love, you should be married.
Now, wait a minute.
I'm sure that you'll be very happy as Mrs. Barton.
And live here and make you with that little...
Hortense, darling.
Oh, Judge,
Yes?
you're the nearest. Would you mind answering the door?
Oh, goodness. How do you do, sir? How do you do? A thousand pardons, apologies, greetings, salutations, and all that thing. I'm vainly endeavoring to find the other side of the town. Why, you're entirely lost. This is this side. The other side is over there. Now, that's odd. The gentleman over there told me it was over here. He was mistaken. Oh, please. No, it all depends on your viewpoint.
Sir, what place are you looking for?
The Barton residence.
This is the Barton residence.
I knew it immediately. I have a record of always being 100% right. I'm Jebney.
Oh, Mr. Jebney. Oh, I didn't expect you so soon.
I can't understand. Didn't anyone give you a ring, Miss Greenwood?
No, nobody ever gave me a ring. That's why I'm still Miss Greenwood. But do come in. This is Mrs. Mellish. How do you do?
Very good morning, Mrs. Belemish.
The name is Mellish, and it happens to be evening.
That, madam, is a detail I let my subordinates take care of.
Mrs. Mellish's niece, Hortense. How do you do? And Judge Cronin.
How are you, Mr. Jimmy? I'm glad you asked that, Judge, because I'm wonderful, right in the pink alert, keen, 100%. Now, let me tell you about myself. In business, I'm a Gibraltar, a master of strength, firm, unmovable. But sentimentally, I fall as constantly as a Niagara. But let anyone fool or defraud me, and I become a gargantua. In the face of extreme danger or crisis, I become unnerving, calm, and cunning, and yet... my gentle nature has earned me the title of Gentleman Jebney, 100% Jeb. Well, I'm sure... You won't believe it, but once I was a failure. I was getting nowhere. I simply went around in circles. I ran a merry-go-round. But you should see me now. Yes, sir, 100%. Did you want to say something, Judge? Yes. Well, let's get down to business. Now, do I have to right, or are these people all members of the family?
Well, Mrs. Mellish and Hortense soon will be, and Judge Cronin is a friend.
Oh, yes.
You see, Judge, I've been in communication with Mr. Jebney and have appointed him business manager of the estate.
And a very fortunate choice.
You've done what? Well, don't look so surprised. After all, you were the one that brought the idea about the business manager.
I know, but I really didn't expect you to act on the suggestion. I know nothing about this gentleman. What's his background, his experience?
Oh, he's been very successful.
My little man, haven't you ever heard of the Rocky Mountain and Jebney Ship Launching Corporation of Denver, Colorado? Well, sir, I was president and general manager. A ship launching company in Denver?
Why, there isn't an ocean within 1,000 miles of Denver.
Why would you locate a ship launching company there?
Well, maybe he likes the climate.
It was good for my hair. Oh. A venture like that couldn't possibly succeed. Well, as a matter of fact, it did fail. For how much? 100%. Oh.
Now, tell Judge about the mongoose fur farm you managed.
Oh, yes, here. At one time, we had as many as 50,000 mongooses. Well, actually, they were rabbits. Well, what happened to that? Well, let me tell you about that. It was very funny that failed, too. Miss Greenwood, I don't approve of this gentleman at all.
If you ask me, he's crazy.
Well, many brilliant men are just a little eccentric.
Eccentric? Frankly, I have the feeling you appointed this man because my suggestion about getting a business manager offended you. If so, I humbly apologize.
Judge, I appointed Mr. Jebney for the best interest of the estate and the Barton children. He's gone over the business affairs very carefully and has made a very interesting suggestion.
What suggestion?
That we sell everything and convert to cash.
Liquidate the estate? Quite right. And now if you'll sign this paper, Miss Greenwood. Why does the estate have to be liquid? I'm thirsty. Yes, thirsty for greater profits than the estate is now producing. Now sign here, Miss Greenwood. Greater profits? Why, if you liquidate now, you take a tremendous loss.
Mr. Jebney has plans for making a lot more money.
That's right. We're going to build a plant for the manufacture of used cars.
That's a used
car. You know what a demand there is for used cars.
Of course, the cars won't actually be used. They'll only look used. But the public won't know that. We'll clean up. And now, Miss Greenwood, if you'll just...
Just a minute, please. Think what you're doing, Miss Greenwood. You've let this fellow influence you with a lot of empty boasting and impossible promises.
Come.
By his own admission, he's failed in everything he's attempted.
Now.
I'm not even sure that he's honest.
But if we were in Paris, where I have never been, I should flick you with my glove and challenge you to a duel. Saber to 20 paces. My pen, Miss Greenwood.
Oh, just a minute, please. I positively forbid it.
I'd just like to remind you, Judge Cronin, that you have no authority in this matter. I not only consider Mr. Jebney completely honest, but the most brilliant man in his field.
Oh, keep signing. Stop
Oh,
there.
I wish I could, but I can't. She's perfectly within her legal rights.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Jebney.
Oh, dear.
But she can't sign away the estate. It doesn't belong to her. It's Jack Barton.
No, not until he's 21, and by that time...
By that time, Jack Barton won't have a cent. Anybody who thinks I'm going to marry him is crazy.
Hortense?
I'm breaking the engagement. The whole thing's off. Come on, Aunt.
I don't know why it is, but there's always somebody to prevent a person making an honest living.
Madam, I would resent that if I had the time.
You...
Oh, Miss Greenwood, let me see that document you signed. Let me see it. Wait a minute. It's simply an ordinary sheet of paper. Except for your signature, it's entirely blank.
Judge, you look a little blank yourself.
Oh, then you didn't authorize this man to
I never said I intended to. I appointed him business manager for the good of the estate. You see, he's a friend of mine. Judge, may I present Vincent Price from Hollywood?
Oh, Vincent Price!
Mr. Price arrived in Lakeview yesterday and came out this evening for dinner. Well, Vincent, the appointment as business manager is now rescinded.
Well, Charlotte, I must say it was fun while it lasted.
Oh, you're a marvelous villain. How's everything at 20th Century Fox?
Well, it's 99 and 9/10 right, but if you were there, it would be 100% perfect.
Oh, I blush.
Studio. He's the actor. No wonder he looked so familiar all this time. He was just acting, huh?
And that was without a rehearsal.
You know, I saw you in New York in Angel Street, and in that picture, Laura. Say, you're a very good actor.
Oh, I told you I consider him the most brilliant man in his field.
Well, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. That's high praise coming from you.
Well, then this whole business was just a trick, a ruse.
It's a Charlotte ruse.
Miss Greenwood, how do you ever think up such ideas?
Why, Judge, this was your idea.
Mine?
Don't you remember mentioning your admiration for an actor who could create a character and make people believe the character real?
Oh, yes, so I did.
Oh, you're so clever.
But we must give Mr. Price here credit, too. He saved the estate a pretty penny. And Jack from considerable embarrassment. No, I don't know if Jack is worth it. You know, sometimes I think having children around is a pain in the neck.
But when you don't have them around, it's a pain in the heart.
Yes, I guess you're right.
Oh, that must be one of the children now. Judge, will you show Mr. Price where to freshen up a bit, and we'll have dinner in just a few moments.
Oh, gladly. This way, Mr. Price. Look, Mr. Price, in your pictures, that last one, the royal scandal where you play the French ambassador, tell me, what did you and Tallulah Bankhead do after she got rid of that soldier?
Well, Judge Cronin, I'll tell you.
Yes?
We opened the door.
Yes, you did.
You got my keys again, Aunt Charlotte. Anything special happened today? Nothing special. Mrs. Mellish and Hortense came to say goodbye. I think they're moving out of town.
You see, there wasn't anything serious between Hortense and me after all.
But just the same, it's a good thing to remember, son. Emotions are something like automobiles.
Automobile?
Life wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable without them. But unless you know how to handle them, you can get into plenty of trouble. Now go and get ready for dinner.
Oh, having company?
Vincent Price is our guest.
Meanwhile, I want to remind you again, the next time you buy a card for any occasion, look on the back for the identifying word, a Hallmark card. Hallmark. A Hallmark card. Like sterling on silver, those three words are your assurance of finest quality. They tell your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Yes, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now, Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, whenever you're away from home, have you ever noticed this? How your heart leaps at the memory of the things you love and miss? The everyday familiar things. The maple tree, the corner store. The drowsy hush as evening comes, lights through the dusk, a friendly door. Voices you love, a table spread. The ticking clock, an easy chair. Tired little feet come home from play. The toys picked up, a bedtime prayer. Yes, how the heart will leap and beat with gladness in the thoughts of these, when a letter or a little note brings news of home and memories. How eagerly you wait for it and count the days. And yet, do you sometimes forget that someone else away from home is waiting, too? And now, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friends, until we meet again. So long, neighbors, till next Sunday, I'll just say, oh, long. So long.
Show was written by Jack Hasty and D.H. Johnson and directed by Thomas Freebairn Smith. In the cast with Miss Greenwood today were Charles Cantor and Isabel Randolph. By special arrangement with 20th Century Fox were Edward Ryan and our distinguished guest, Vincent Price. Whenever you have occasion to send a card, remember a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show. And here she is, that lovable lady of stage, screen, and radio, Charlotte Greenwood.
Thank you, Wendell. Wendell, today we tell a story about three people who feel that a great injustice has been done to them.
Well, have you ever felt that justice has been wanting in your life, Mrs. Greenwood?
Yes, that justice of the peace. And it isn't Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Greenwood is brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards to remind you that whenever you want to remember someone, you'll find a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. So when you choose a card, look on the back for the three identifying words, a Hallmark card. Yes, don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now for our weekly visit to the little town of Lakeview and to Aunt Charlotte and her problem of bringing up the three Barton children, Barbara, Jack, and Bobby. It's a peaceful Saturday afternoon. Aunt Charlotte is putting on her gloves to go shopping with Barbara when the phone rings.
Hello?
Miss Greenwood?
Yes?
This is Miss Hodges at West Virginia.
Oh, hello, Isabel.
I have another telegram for you from Roger Humphrey in Hollywood.
What again? What does my devoted agent say this time?
Can't understand why you keep turning down competition. 20th Century Fox's offer fabulous. Opportunity terrific. Terms sensational. Picture colossal. Salary tremendous.
That doesn't leave much chance for advancement. Is that all?
No, it says, no girl can afford to turn down this...
No girl?
Yes.
What's the date on that telegram?
Oh, Miss Greenwood, it's none of my business, of course, but you've always been one of my favorite stars, and if you don't mind my saying so, I don't think you should turn down such a wonderful chance.
I appreciate what you say, but you know I wouldn't leave the children.
Well, think it over. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye.
You going out?
Yes, Robert, I'm going shopping with Barbara.
I'll get it. Must be somebody.
It usually is. Let's see who it is.
Hello? It's Bobby. It's Randy. Okay, wait a minute. It's for me, Aunt Charlotte. Okay, Randy. What you doing? Nothing. Okay. Want to come over? Okay, sure. Okay, hurry up. Okay, goodbye. Okay.
Well, I don't know whether that was pig Latin, pigeon English, or pure poetic genius.
Randy's coming over.
Don't you okay mean he's okay coming, okay over?
Huh?
Sounds like that phone is running neck and neck with your okays.
I'll get it. Hello?
Oh, Bobby, this is Price. See us over at the lot right away. We got a big ball game on.
Okay, sure. I'll be right over. Goodbye. I got to run up, Sarah. I'm playing baseball.
With Randy?
No, with Spike. Randy's not on the team.
Well, you promised Randy to spend the afternoon with him.
Yeah, but I'd rather play baseball with Spike. Well, I'm ready, Aunt Charlotte. You are.
Just a minute, Barbara. Robert, when you make a date with Randy, don't you think you should keep your date?
But gee whiz, Aunt Charlotte. Can I call it off if I want to?
Well, it's the baseball you should call off, Robert. Hadn't you better phone Spike right back now?
If I have to, I suppose I have to. But gee whiz, can I ever do anything I want?
Well, next time, don't be so careless with your promises and you won't have this trouble. Come on, Barbara.
Aunt Charlotte, do you remember ever having trouble over making a promise?
I do.
What promise?
I do. Come along, Barbara.
Oh, there's a lovely bathhouse you bought, Aunt Charlotte. What more could anyone ask for to make bathing a perfect delight?
Hot water?
Well, what are we going to get now?
The bus home.
Oh, I do love a department store. How else could you find so many amazing things all in one place?
In Robert's pants pocket.
Well, not quite, Aunt Charlotte. Just look around you. Did you ever see such gorgeous looking things?
I must say they all look very attractive.
If you had your choice, what would you pick?
The floor walker.
Oh, Aunt Charlotte, you're always joking. Oh, look.
I'm looking.
Oh, aren't these darling?
Darling, a porcelain kangaroo. Barbara.
Oh, it's just what I need for my dressing table.
Barbara, you need a porcelain kangaroo about as much as a real kangaroo needs a pouch full of firecrackers.
Oh, you'll like it, Aunt Charlotte, when you see it on my dressing table.
It costs $15.
But I've got the money.
I know that, but you're saving the money to buy a new dress, which you very much need. Now, come on now, we mustn't miss the bus.
No, you'll never let me buy anything I want.
Greetings and salutations, my fair damoiselle.
Why, Jack Barton.
Your train is awaited by yonder curbstone.
Jack, how did you know where we were?
Bobby told me, so I thought I'd come down and give you a lift home. Knowing how tired you ladies always get from shopping.
Well, at least somebody's full of understanding.
And humbug. Well, we'll ride home with you, Jack, so you can tell us the real reason. Where's your car?
Oh, it's not my car I'm driving. It's this one.
Oh?
It belongs to a friend of mine. He said I could use it all afternoon. Climb in. Now, sit back and relax in the arms of luxury.
Oh, ouch. Either the arms of luxury have very big muscles, or else the elbows are sticking me in the ribs.
Gee, Aunt Charlotte, you got to admit it looks a lot better than my jalopy.
I'll say it does.
Your jalopy doesn't look so bad.
Notice how quick the motor catches on?
Uh-huh.
almost as quickly as I catch on. You mean, you like it, huh?
Oh, I like it, Jeff. Whose car is it?
Oh, a friend of mine, a fellow you don't know. But how about you, Aunt Charlie?
I don't know him either.
No, I mean, do you like the car? Don't you like the way the motor sounds?
Oh, very much, but then I like brass bands. Jack, he's trying to sell you this car.
So?
Yes, you didn't say who your friend was. I assume it's not Santa Claus. No, Jack, now you hang on to your jalopy. You don't need this car. You can't afford it. It's not nearly as good as you think it is.
Oh, gee whiz, Aunt Charlotte. Can't I ever do anything I want?
Bobby, Jack help me set the table.
All right, Barbara, but I don't feel like it.
Well, neither do I, but we've got to do it.
Yeah, we've always got to do what we don't want to do.
For an intelligent woman, Aunt Charlotte does some very strange things.
You said it. By the time she thinks I'm old enough to buy a decent car, I'll have a long gray beard.
Yeah, and how can you play baseball with a beard?
And he makes me save my money for a dress that I might want for a party that I might go to, instead of buying a porcelain kangaroo that I could enjoy right now.
Aunt Charlotte is certainly on the wrong side of this argument.
Well, 3 against 1 is a pretty good majority.
Now, if we only knew what to do.
I know exactly what to do.
Can I do it too?
And the time has come for action. It's our responsibility to show Aunt Charlotte the error of her ways.
You're absolutely right, Barbara.
And the best way to do it is to appeal to her intelligence.
Children, the last man who proposed to me appealed to my intelligence, and now look where I am.
Aunt Charlotte, we want to talk to you.
Oh, can't be talk at dinner. You children must be starved.
There are more important things than food.
That's a delightful idea, Barbara, but I don't think the men of our family would agree with you.
Barbara's right, Aunt Charlotte. I'm past the stage where food consumes all my interest.
Well, it may not consume all your interest, but it certainly takes care of your appetite. Well, Robert, looks like you and I are the only ones around here who still want to eat.
I'm not hungry tonight.
Oh, I see. There's something cooking, but it isn't food. Well, I think we might as well tackle this right now. Let's all sit around the table and talk. I'm waiting, children.
Aunt Charlotte, I know that everybody's going to have some time in their life.
Yes, usually at the beginning. That's a good start, dear.
But there comes a moment when they outgrow their childish.
And there comes a time in your life when you should be able to make some of your own decisions.
Well, that depends on what you've decided.
Well, I decided I should have played baseball this afternoon.
Oh, you did? Oh, so that's it. Kangaroos, automobiles, and baseball. Well, it looks like I've had 2 strikes called on me already.
Well, the point is, Aunt Charlotte, that when a person can go out and get a job and earn her own money, she's pretty near grown up.
Yeah, pretty near, but when she knows how to spend the money she's earned, she's a lot nearer.
Well, just how old does a person have to be for you to think she's grown up?
That has nothing to do with the calendar. There are moments when I think you're very grown up, and this doesn't happen to be one of them.
Aunt Charlotte, you're not looking at this in the right way. Now, in the first place, you've got everything all out of proportion.
Flatterer, I've got everything all out of proportion in all places. Suppose we break this up and smile, huh? Yes, you've got too much on your minds and not enough on your stomach. Come on now, dinner's ready. Jack, will you carve the lamb?
No, he won't.
I won't?
No.
Oh.
Aunt Charlotte, we're not going to eat.
Yes, that's it. We're not going to eat.
Nothing at all? No. Shall we go into the living room?
Yes, let's go. Come on, Bobby.
Robert, I'll leave a piece of meat for you in the icebox.
Our birthdays are pretty important to us all. We're disappointed when friends neglect us on our own personal day. So, too, with the other special occasions in our lives, when a thoughtful card from a friend could make such a world of difference to us. Why not remember your friends with a fine, distinctive card you can choose at your Hallmark dealer? There's a wide selection of birthday cards, as charming or as clever and humorous as the very friends you have in mind. There are tasteful wedding congratulations, original anniversary wishes, and cheer cards like a bright bouquet for someone who is ill. Today is Friendship Day, set aside for remembering those who are dear to us. And from now on, let's remember them regularly. Even if our card merely tells a friend, "Hello, I'm thinking of you," it's a thoughtful way to keep in touch. And there's always a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. See your Hallmark dealer tomorrow. Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. Don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Now back to the Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood show. It's after dinner, or after what was supposed to have been dinner, for the Barton children, resenting Aunt Charlotte's discipline, have refused to eat. Now in the living room, Barbara is quietly reading a book, Jack is quietly reading a magazine, and Bobby is quietly reading a funny. Aunt Charlotte is knitting, quietly. It's been a very long time since anyone said a word.
I don't mean to interrupt this gay conversation, but the leg of lamb is still in the icebox. With sliced cold tomatoes and olives on the side.
No thanks.
I'm not hungry.
And neither is Bobby. Are you, Bobby? No, I had a piece of... I'm not hungry.
It's really delicious. Done to a turn, luscious, tender, exquisite flavor.
I'm not hungry.
All right, darling, all right. Don't force yourself.
Oh, Jack, what time?
10 to 8.
10 to 8. Jack, do you have any plans for this evening?
No, but we could make some.
That's what I was thinking. Let's go out. Yeah, let's.
Do you think you should?
There you are, I'm sorry. We haven't even made our plans yet, and you're starting in already.
I didn't say I think you shouldn't go out. I said, do you think you should? Yes, we think we should. Well, that's fine. Where are you going?
Going? Oh, well, we'll go to the movies.
You sure will. Not you, Bobby.
What are you going to see?
Well, whatever's playing.
Well, the visual still has Betty Grable and Diamond Horseshoe.
Oh, that's a great picture.
That's what you said when you saw it Thursday.
Oh, did I? I can see it again.
If you want to.
I do. I like Betty Grable.
That reminds me, the leg of lamb is still in the icebox.
I don't want lamb.
No, you just want Betty Grable.
Come on, let's go to the movies, Bobby. You're not coming with us. I've got a right to do what I want to do, too.
But what is this?
You're not going, Bobby.
I am so... Aunt Charlotte, tell them they gotta let... I am so going.
Well, one of us is going to answer the telephone, and I accept the nomination.
Hello?
Just a minute, Randy. Robert, it's okay, Randy, for okay you.
Thanks, Aunt Charlotte. Oh, Randy. Gee, that's great. Oh, boy. You start Monday? Sure I can. Okay, goodbye. Hey, everybody, I got a job delivering at a store.
Did Randy get it for you?
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
Well, didn't I give up baseball for him?
Yes, dear, but now you see...
Now I got a job, now I got my money of my own. And now I'm going to the movies with Barbara and Jack, and I'll pay my own way.
Well, that's fine. You haven't even got the money yet, and you've spent it already.
Oh, Jack, if we're going to the movies, we better hurry.
Well, I was just thinking, Barbara, since we've seen the picture at the Big U, is there anything to stop us from going to the palace?
No, except the palace is closed for repairs.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, we can still go to the Bijou.
Well, we can go someplace.
There's always the kitchen.
Wonder who that could be at the door.
Well, while you're wondering, I'll find out.
Rufus Lemaire.
Good to see you, Charlotte.
Oh, well, come in. Well, Rufus, what are you doing in Lakeview?
From what I've seen of this town, that's what I was going to ask you.
Well, Rufus, here are my reasons for being in Lakeview. 3 of them. I'd like you to meet the Bartons. Barbara?
How do you do?
Jack?
Oh.
Where's Robert?
I don't know. I guess he went in the kitchen.
Mr. Lemaire is from 20th Century Fox Studio in Hollywood.
What? From the movie?
Hollywood? Hollywood, where everybody longs to go, but nobody goes too long.
Forgive me for barging in on you like this, Charlotte. The studio wanted me to discuss the contract with you.
Contract? For Aunt Charlotte? But, Rufus, I wired Roger
But
Humphrey.
he wanted you to see the contract.
I've seen a contract.
But not like this one. He wants me to explain it to you so you realize what a superb opportunity it is. Now, clause number 1 is the type of provision not usually found in a contract like this.
Hey, Dickie, help me pull up this garage door. Sure. Thanks, Dickie. What you gonna do, Bobby? I'm going to the movies, no matter what they say. Who's in? My sister and brother. I'm gonna sit in the car and wait for them. Aw, that's no good. They'll throw you out before they start. Well, I gotta do something, Dickie. My sister said the time has come for action. Look, why don't you hide in the trunk of the car? I did that once. Sit here? Yeah, in my dad's car. When he got to the movies and I jumped out of the trunk, he got awful mad. But he took me to the movies just the same, because he didn't want to waste the gas taking me home. That's a swell idea. But, Bobby, don't let the lids get upset on account of it gets awful hot and you can't breathe. What do you think I am, a dummy? Well, it gets awful stuffy in there. Okay, I'll hide now. Thanks, Dickie. Let's have a secret handshake. Sure. Here. I won't tell anybody. Hey, Bobby, as soon as the car stops, jump out.
Mentioned in this agreement notwithstanding. Well, that's the last clause, Charlotte. Now, what do you think of it?
Well, it's quite a contract, Rufus.
If you'll give it your earnest consideration, I'm sure you'll realize there's only one thing for you to do.
It's a very flattering offer.
Well, I won't detain you any longer. Bye, Miss Barton. Mr. Barton.
Goodbye. Rufus, I'll see you to the door.
Charlotte, I'll call you in the morning.
This is it. I thought it'll go to Hollywood and we'll be alone. And by the time she comes back, everything will be changed. Things will be running to suit us.
Yes, we'll have grown up while she doesn't look.
Sure.
Suppose she doesn't go.
Well, that'll be up to us. Of course, you'll have to do a smooth job of handling it. Here she comes.
I'm sorry, children. Oh, it's too late for you to go to the movies now. Of course, you didn't have to stay here with me.
Say, Aunt Charlotte, this is terrific.
Gee, you must be all excited.
What do you mean?
When are you leaving?
Well, I don't know. I haven't read any good timetables lately.
Oh, but seriously, Aunt Charlotte, you should think of your career. Well, when it comes to career, you stand head and shoulders above other women.
When it comes to just standing, I'm head and shoulders above other women.
Well, Aunt Charlotte, if your career isn't important to you, at least it's important to us.
Yes, I can see that. But before you buy my railroad ticket, don't you think that you should consult the third member of your trio and then put him to bed?
Oh, yes. Jack, where is Bob?
Oh, he's in the kitchen.
Oh, well, I'll go get him.
You know, Aunt Charlotte, if I had a chance to go to Hollywood, I'd sure grab it.
Aunt Charlotte, Bobby's not in the kitchen.
Well, I guess he's gone upstairs to bed. I'll go and tuck him in. That's very funny that he should have gone to bed without saying good night. Robert? Jack, Barbara, he's not in his room.
Isn't?
Where can he be?
He's not downstairs, Aunt Charlotte.
He isn't in the attic either.
He's nowhere in the house.
Well, Jack, see if he's hiding under the porch or in the garage or in the cellar. And Barbara, will you see if he's gone next door?
He's not next door. They haven't seen him all evening.
Covered every inch of this garage, not a sign of him.
Well, I'm going down the street.
I'll look down the cellar. Bobby! Hey, Bobby! You down here in the cellar? Hey, now look, Bud, if you're hiding, come on out. Bobby! I've looked all over and I can't find him anywhere.
Charlotte, I've called the whole neighborhood. Where'll we find him? Where?
Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of that before? The movie.
Well, you wouldn't do that.
Why not? You and Barbara have done nothing but talk about going. You know how seriously he takes you. You ought to be more careful what you say when he's around.
Oh, we didn't think he'd take it.
Well, let's not waste any more time now. We'll get the car and drive down to the theater. Ooh, dark in the garage. Turn on the headlights.
You want to sit in the middle, Aunt Charlotte?
All right. Close the door, Barbara. Hurry, Jack. I'm looking for my keys.
Here they are. I must have put them in the...
I thought I heard something.
Sure, my keys.
Oh, come on, Jack. Let's get started.
Listen. I heard it again.
Oh, this car creaks. It makes all kinds of noises. Jack, go straight down 3rd Street. There's less traffic. Okay. Holy cow, I guess the motor's cold.
Wait a minute. I'm sure I heard something.
I don't hear anything.
Look, let's all be quiet. Nobody move. There.
I heard it that time.
Yeah, but that's not the car. It comes from that bell.
No, it was metal. In back. The car trunk.
Oh, Bobby, you've never given it.
Get out. Get out.
The lid's stuck.
Oh, Aunt Charlotte, please help us. Hurry.
I can't get this lid open there, Charlotte. This side.
It's coming. Here. Bobby. Bobby.
Gosh, he's excited. What do we do?
Carry him into the fresh air.
Up you go, darling.
I'm here, dear. We're all here.
Oh, will he be all right, Aunt Charlotte?
Will he? Oh, he is all right. He's just frightened.
Another piece of lamb, Aunt Charlotte? How about some more potatoes?
Or vegetables, Aunt Charlotte.
Well, thank you very much, children, but I'm the one who had dinner. Remember? How about all of you sitting down and digging in?
Aunt Charlotte, are you going to Hollywood? Are you?
No.
Well, then you changed your mind?
No. I never said I would. You were the one who said I should.
Huh?
Oh, Aunt Charlotte. Oh, gee, I'm sure glad you're not going to Hollywood.
I don't get this. Where did Hollywood come from?
From a corner of Los Angeles.
Aunt Charlotte, you were right. I did get that invitation to a party. Now I will need that new dress instead of the kangaroo I wanted to buy.
We'll go shopping Monday, darling.
Aunt Charlotte, I've got something to tell you, too. Howard Morton bought the car that I wanted to buy. And guess what?
It doesn't run.
Well, how did you know?
I rode in it.
Oh, Aunt Charlotte. And to think that you gave up Hollywood for us, and here we were being selfish about a lot of silly things we thought we wanted.
Aunt Charlotte, you mean more to us than all those things.
You mean it?
Uh-huh.
We can get along without things. But we can't get along without you, Aunt Charlotte.
That's all I want to hear, son.
Oh, there still ought to be some kind of punishment for goons like us.
You could have spanked us, Aunt Charlotte.
Oh, bless your hearts, if I had, you wouldn't have said just what you have said. We'll get along better now, my lamb, with a deeper appreciation and understanding of each other.
Aunt Charlotte, I'm never going to be impractical again.
Never?
And I'm never going to be selfish again.
And I'm always going to do what you tell me, Aunt Charlotte.
Never and always. Nice words. If you never forget to always remember them.
Oh, we will.
You know, Aunt Charlotte, whatever you do that's wrong comes back double. And if it's right, that comes back double.
That's what I can't understand. Right or wrong, I keep coming back single.
Greenwood will be back in a moment. Meanwhile, I want to remind you again, the next time you buy a card for any occasion, look on the back for the identifying words, a Hallmark card. Hallmark. A Hallmark card. Like sterling on silver, those three words are your assurance of finest quality. They tell your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Yes, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And our Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, I wonder, do you ever think of some kind friend you know and tell yourself that you'll repay the kindnesses you owe? That someday when you have the time, you'll send that friend a gift to pay for all the time that she has given you a lift? I'm sure we've all done that. And yet, you know, it's often true that months slip by before we do the things we ought to do. So why not pay that kind friend back on the remembrance plan with little bits of thoughtfulness at every time you can? A card on anniversary, a note to say hello will help repay her through the years the gratitude you owe. And more than that, each greeting card, each letter that you send accomplishes a priceless thing. It makes and keeps a friend. And so, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friend, until we meet again. So long, neighbor, till next Sunday, I'll just say, oh, Lord. So long.
Charlotte Greenwood Show was written by Sylvia Sahlberg, Hi Alexander, and Maurice Jim, and directed by Thomas Freebairn Smith. The Barton children, Barbara, Bobby, and Jack, were played by Barbara Eiler, Bobby Larson, and Edward Ryan, who appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. Wendell Niles speaking. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show came to you from Hollywood. This is the American Broadcasting Company. We delay the start of Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show in order to keep you up to the minute on the latest news. Jerry Lee reporting. Up to this moment, the Japs have not yet given their answer to the latest terms for surrender. The White House in Washington has given no word of any kind concerning the enemy's reaction to the surrendered terms, although the President and State Department officials are standing by, awaiting the word. Although the diplomatic world is marking time, the men of the fighting front continue to forge ahead against the enemy. Russian troops have advanced and have captured 2 vital ports in Korea. Reports from Stockholm indicate that King Gustav of Sweden is being approached by Japanese negotiators to act as a go-between for the surrender negotiations. The Japanese Domai Agency reported that Emperor Hirohito's cabinet is in a special meeting which began at 4 o'clock this morning, our time. The American Broadcasting Company will continue to interrupt all programs for the latest developments. We take you now to our regularly scheduled program.
Whenever you have occasion to send a card, remember a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show. And here she is, that lovable lady of stage, screen, and radio, Charlotte Greenwood.
Wendell, today we tell a story about 3 young people who start out with good intentions but end up with quite a problem on their hands.
Well, with all the experience you've been through, haven't you had just about everything pushed on your hands, Mrs. Greenwood?
Everything, except the wedding ring. And it isn't Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Greenwood is brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards to remind you that whenever you want to remember someone, you'll find a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. So when you choose a card, look on the back for the 3 identifying words, a Hallmark card. Yes, don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste,
your thoughtfulness. Now for our weekly visit to a little town of Lakeview and to Aunt Charlotte and her problems of bringing up the three children, Barbara, Jack, and Bobby. It's late Friday afternoon, and Charlotte has just received a phone call from her good friend, Matilda Hamilton, wife of Lakeview's mayor.
Charlotte, I just had to call you to tell you for something. And I want to make sure you're in a yes mood.
Matilda, I'm always ready to say yes, but nobody ever asks me.
Well, this is something different.
It always is.
Well, anyway, you're going to have a visitor. The mayor is on his way over to see you.
The mayor? Now, what have you put your husband up to now?
I didn't put him up to a thing. I merely made a suggestion.
A suggestion. When you turn your power of suggestion on the mayor, you've got enough kilowatts left over to run a washing machine.
Well, anyway, this is something I know that you'll just love.
Excuse me, Matilda. There's someone at the door.
Oh, dear, that must be him now. Now, Charlotte, do what he asks. I'll call you later, dear. Bye.
Goodbye. Good afternoon, Mayor Hamilton. Come in.
Thank you.
Do sit down, Mayor.
Thank you. Miss Greenwood, as you know, Mrs. Princey's moving away from Lakeview leaves a vacancy on our Children's Recreation Committee.
Oh, that's a great loss to Lakeview.
Yes, it is. But fortunately, we do have one woman who can replace her. It's you, Miss Greenwood. You were nominated last night. It is my privilege to inform you of your nomination and to ask you to accept.
Oh, I'm honored, Mayor Hamilton.
No one is better qualified to get children to join hands in a warm spirit of friendliness, just as they do around the maypole.
Yes, well, at least I qualify for the maypole.
We need you on that committee, Miss Greenwood. Please say yes.
Well,
Charlotte, I just... Oh, Mayor Hamilton, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right, Robert. Miss Greenwood, tell me that you'll accept my earnest proposal.
You mean you want to marry Aunt Charlotte?
There are other kind of proposals, dear.
Please accept, Miss Greenwood.
Barbara, Jack, you're just in time. Oh, hello, Mayor Hamilton.
How do you do, man? Children, your aunt has been nominated to fill a vacancy on the Children's Recreation Committee.
Great golly, Robert. Oh, Charlotte, how wonderful.
What an honor. Won't I be able to stick my chest out? Yeah, and won't I be sticking my neck out? Taking charge of all those children and maintaining the confidence of their parents is no small undertaking. Well, you can do it, Aunt Charlotte.
Oh, you know you can. I'll help you.
Well, it's mighty good help that'll be, too, Robert.
You will do it, won't you, Miss Greenwood?
Well, I'd certainly like to try, Mayor Hamilton.
Good. Now, all that remains to be done is to go through the formality of getting the approval of Jasper Albright.
Jasper Albright?
The hardware dealer?
Well, what's he got to do with it?
As chairman of the committee, he has the final word.
He's an old fuddy-duddy.
Robert, fuddy-duddy.
Oh, but he is, Aunt Charlotte. Have you ever been in his store? With him, you're either 100% right or 100% wrong. You've never heard of 99%.
Yeah, when he says a miss is as good as a mile, he's not fooling. Well, when I say a miss is no good at all, I'm not fooling.
Everybody in Lakeview knows what a splendid job you've done in welding the Barton children into a warm, friendly family.
Yes, but a small family isn't a whole city.
Don't you worry about Jasper Albright. I'll bring him here to this house, and if he finds one single objection after he sees this happy family, then his head must be as thick as this book.
Look out, the bookcase.
I'm sorry, dreadfully sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Mayor.
I hope I didn't damage it or scratch it.
Oh, the last scratch that bookcase got was 10 years ago, and there hasn't been room for another scratch since.
I'll pick the books up. I always do.
You always do?
They're always falling out.
I see. So, Miss Greenwood, I'd better run along. If it's all right with you, I'll bring Jasper Albright over to see you tomorrow. Well, goodbye, children.
Goodbye, Mayor Hamilton.
I'll see you to the door, Mayor. Robert, Jasper Albright expects everything to be 100% right. If he's coming over here, something's got to be done about this bookcase.
And the sooner the better. Yeah. Aunt Charlotte stopped to get that appointment.
Oh, Matilda Hamilton, you old fox, you.
How does it feel to be the nominee for the Lakeview Children's Recreation Committee?
How does it feel to be the wife of Lakeview's mayor? Come to think of it, how does it feel to be anybody's wife?
Anyway, I'm glad you took it.
Subject to Jasper Albright's approval.
That's nothing compared to the ordeal I've got ahead of me today.
Oh, you're going shopping?
You guessed it.
What are you going to shop for?
Kitchen cabinets, towels, and a pair of shoes.
What are you going to buy?
Charlotte, I'll simply have to close my eyes to the justice.
Oh, that's easy. The trick is opening your purse.
Well, I'll do it. Goodbye, Charlotte.
Goodbye. Robert, where are you? Well, what in the world? Robert, why are you emptying the bookcase?
Well, everybody said something ought to be done about the bookcase right away, and I'm doing it.
You are?
Yep, I'm going to paint it.
Oh, that's a commendable thought, but don't you think you ought to talk it over with the rest of the family first?
They never think I have any good ideas.
Oh, but painting that bookcase is an excellent idea. And by the way, what color paint is that you've got there?
Oh, you'll like it, Aunt Charlotte. There's on the can here, vivid verdigris.
Vivid verdigris. That's green.
Yes, it is? Mm-hmm. Boy, won't Jack and Bob be surprised.
Surprised? Mm-hmm. They'll be positively dumbfounded. But, Robert, please don't start painting until we talk it over.
Hello?
Greenwood? Is Mr. Days second-hand furniture man?
Yes, Mr. Days.
Just one penny. I'll be round to pick up the bookcase.
What bookcase?
My bookcase.
Which bookcase is your bookcase?
Well, your bookcase.
My bookcase?
Yeah. Your bookcase is my bookcase.
My time is your time, but aren't we wasting it?
No, madam. Payment for $6 for it.
For what?
The bookcase.
Oh, good heavens, you mean Barbara sold you our bookcase?
Yeah, for $6. I'll come around shortly to pick it up. Goodbye.
Goodbye, he says.
That's you, Barbara? No, Jack, it's me. Oh, I've been waiting for you to come home, Aunt Charlotte. Come on in the living room. Look at the surprise I've got for you.
Jack. Oh, Jack Barton, what have you done?
Well, I decided that Jasper Albright wasn't going to see that dilapidated old bookcase, so I modernized it. Shot off the legs and curly cues, removed the glass door, and started streamlining it, see?
Yes, I see.
You don't like it? Yeah, I figured it should be.
Oh, gosh, but Jack, it doesn't belong to us.
What? What do you mean?
Your sister sold that bookcase to Mr. Gates.
Well, I like that.
Well, if this is who I think it is, he won't like it. And it is.
Hello there.
Hello there. I was just thinking about you, Mr. Gates.
I got to talk here now. Pick up that bookcase. Say, that ain't it.
Oh, I'm afraid it is, Mr. Gates.
No. The glass door, the curly cues, and the legs, they're all off.
Yes, I noticed that, too.
Oh, it's all out of proportion without any legs.
Yes, well, that makes it even.
That makes what even?
I'm all out of proportion with legs.
Don't do much good to saw them off.
You mean the bookcase?
Yeah. Say, look here now. You know that bookcase ain't the one I paid $6 for, and I ain't a-taking it.
Oh, dear, there's Barbara.
In here, dear. Don't I think to get off whispering now. I have a surprise for you. Oh, look at that bookcase.
Young lady, you sold me this bookcase, but it wasn't in this condition. I want my $6 back.
Aunt Charlotte, how did this happen?
Jack also wanted to surprise me.
Now, somebody please surprise me with $6.
I haven't got it.
Well, what did you do with it, Barbara?
I wanted the house to look nice when Jasper Albright came, so I used the money to buy a new unpainted bookcase.
Have I got bookcase trouble?
Well, when the new one comes, I'll just have to send it back and repay Mr. Gates. Anybody else?
Yes, here we are, Robert.
Come on out in the garage. I got a surprise for you.
Oh, boy, another surprise?
Hi, everybody. Say, a brand new bookcase came today. It's been delivered already.
Robert, where is the new bookcase?
Out in the garage. I just finished painting it.
Oh. Robert, you said finished painting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Did you paint it green? Vivid?
Yes. Vivid Verdi, whatchamacallit.
Oh.
And daggone it looks well.
Oh.
A green bookcase.
Oh, they'll never take it back now. What am I going to do?
Well, first I'll surprise Mr. Gates with $6. Here you are, Mr. Gates.
Oh, thank you, Missy. Well, paid $6, got $6. At least I'm holding my own. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, Aunt Charlotte, how will I ever pay you back?
Well, you surprise me that way, will you, sometime? Robert, will you answer the door, please?
Okay. Jack, this is all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Who the hell is Why did you have to sell it? What right did you have to ruin it? You make me tired. That's nothing to what you make me.
Children, Mayor Hamilton and Mr. Albright are here.
Miss Greenwood, I brought Mr. Albright. Oh, no. I see.
How do you do, Mayor? And come in, Mr. Albright. Jack, take that saw off the chair.
Oh, sure. Oh, just a minute, Mr. Albright. I'll get that lumber out of your way. You've got me so to say, shoot, Mr. Albright. I'll brush it off. Not with that green paint on your hand, Bobby.
If you'll sit down, Mr. Albright, here, on this chair, I guarantee your safety.
Come on, sit down, Jasper. Hammers, saws, lumber.
And paint, Mr. Albright.
I'm going to be blunt, Miss Greenwood. You have the very quality that I feared. As an actress, you have all of the outward charm and the inward disorder. No doubt in your life you've had no need for organization and system.
Mr. Albright, you can't say that about Aunt Charlotte.
You certainly can't. Do you see what I mean, Miss Greenwood? Well, I believe in treating children with kindness, but they must be taught order, respect, and discipline. I have seen us to consider your nomination to fill the vacancy on the Children's Recreation Committee. As an honest citizen, I cannot give my approval. Just a minute, Jasper.
Please, Mayor Hamilton, and that is Mr. Albright's opinion, and from what he's seen, I can understand it.
People usually do. But good day, Miss Greenwood. I'm sorry to have intruded. Jasper, you've got to listen to reason.
Oh, this is awful, Aunt Charlotte.
He spoiled everything for you.
He didn't need you.
I know that, darling. But what we've got to learn is when we do anything that concerns us as a family, we've got to do it together.
All right. Well, what can we do together now?
Clean up this room.
Have you ever walked down a hospital corridor lately? If so, have you noticed how many rooms have screens with colorful cards pinned up on them? To their owners, those gay cards are precious, important. They help speed the tedious hours along. They brighten each day, not only because of their cheery design and good wishes, but because each card represents the thoughtfulness of a friend. Isn't there someone you know who would welcome your thoughtful card? Think a moment. And tomorrow at your Hallmark dealers, choose from among the thousands of distinctive cheer cards you'll find in the Hallmark selection. Beautiful cards with encouraging messages and clever cards that say get well with a lively touch of humor. Then, too, you'll see many fine original cards for remembering friends on their birthdays, their wedding days, anniversaries, and for congratulating those proud brand new mothers and dads. Whatever the occasion, you'll find an appropriate Hallmark card. A card that says just what you want to say, the way you want to say it. Yes, go to your Hallmark dealers tomorrow. Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. Just remember, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now back to the Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood show. The Barton living room has been put in order, hammer and saws have been put away, and Barbara is singing.
Oh, Aunt Charlotte, why did all this happen? Gosh, all I did was paint the bookcase. Yes, the new bookcase that we can't return now.
You had no right to buy that bookcase.
Well, you had no right to ruin the old one.
You say I ruined it, but I've got a different opinion.
Well, there's only one correct opinion.
And I'm waiting patiently for someone to express it. Huh? Now, look, children, it isn't a question of which one of you is right or wrong. You're looking at this bookcase problem from different angles, not realizing that all your angles are on the same side.
Oh, how can you have so many angles on one side?
That's what I ask myself every time I look in the mirror.
Aunt Charlotte, that's not what we're talking about. Your figure is neither here nor there.
No, I wish there was a little more of it here and a little less of it there.
Charlotte.
Now, what's more important right now is whether or not we've learned anything from today's experience. Up to now, all you've done is shift the blame from one to the other.
Well, what about Mr. Albright?
Well, what about Mr. Albright?
I hate him.
Yeah, he's nuts. He should have put you on that committee.
Yes, he's crazy. I hate him too.
Children, I never heard you express yourselves like that before. Now, we're not hating anybody. Let's think about Mr. Albright's point of view. He came in here to see if I was suited to be on his committee, to find out if I was capable of creating harmony and cooperation. And what he saw didn't exactly demonstrate that, did it?
Did he have to be so nasty about it?
It's Mr. Albright's position, not his disposition, that concerns us.
Well, maybe you're right, Aunt Charlotte, but...
Well, now, look here. Yes, and he was right, too. He walked into a mess. We can understand Mr. Albright only by having him understanding us. Now, let's go right down to his store and see him.
Miss Greenwood, if you've come here to plead your case, you're wasting time.
Mr. Albright, we've come for quite different reasons.
All of you?
All of us.
Me too.
If you people realized how I run my business, you'd appreciate my point of view.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah, that's how we come, Mr. Albright.
Yes, Miss Weston.
There's a shipment here from Jones and Company, 5 packing cases.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Of course. Have the cases brought directly into the store.
Into the store.
Why not?
Well, but now...
Don't you listen?
Couldn't Albright...
You heard me, Miss Weston.
Yes, sir, just as you say.
You see, Miss Greenwood, I insisted this shipment arrive precisely 10 minutes before closing.
10 minutes before closing? I don't understand.
Tonight I shall unpack, and everything will be in shipshape for the morning. That is careful planning.
I'll say it is.
And it is I, young man, who does all of the planning. My employees carry out the plans as I direct. That produces unity of purpose and unity of action.
Both of which seem to have been lacking in my household today.
Precisely.
Yes.
Albright.
Yes?
Just wanted to check. Are you sure you want all those packing cases brought right into the store?
Have them set right down the aisles, Miss Weston.
Mr. Albright, I'd like to say
Can't Mr. Farthing get them into the aisle?
Yes, of course we can.
Well, then tell him to get them there.
Yes.
Well, what are you standing around here for? Go and do what I told you.
Oh, yes.
With employees like that, Miss Greenwood, you can see why I must have complete control of things. This hardware store carries over 7,000 different items.
Including your 2 employees.
7,000 different items, Mr. Albright?
And I keep track of every last one of them. I know precisely how many of each I have and precisely where they are. That is the way I like things to run. Precisely. Do you understand?
Precisely.
Good. My sales force arrives precisely at 8:30. I arrive precisely 5 minutes earlier. My whole business runs like clockwork.
And your clocks run the whole business.
You will notice, for example, I have an electric clock and a mechanical clock.
No sundial?
Please. If a fuse blows, the electric clock stops. But the mechanical clock keeps running.
Of course, you never forget to wind it.
It is the first thing I personally do every morning. Next, I personally tear off a page of the calendar.
And then you personally open the store.
Please, Miss Greenwood, you don't seem to understand.
Oh, but I do, precisely.
Yes.
Packing cases are all set out.
Very good. It's 5:30. You may go now.
Go. Well, when are we going to unpack?
Mr. Albright, you've got all the packing cases puffing up the aisle. Of course I have.
But you can't do that.
Mr. Farthing, since when are you telling me what to do? I give the orders and you carry them out. But that is all you're supposed to do, and that's all you're capable of doing. Now go home, both of you. Go on.
Mr. Albright, don't we usually stay open until 10:30 on Saturday?
Of course we do, but this is Friday.
Miss Weston can't contradict you, but it is Saturday.
Please, Miss Greenwood, stop confusing me. This is Friday. It says so right on my calendar here in big letters.
Well, right here on this newspaper in small letters, it says Saturday.
Saturday? How can that be?
Well, when it comes to being organized, the solar system is one up on you.
Organized?
You're over-organized, Mr. Albright. I've been trying to tell you all afternoon this was Saturday. I could have fixed your calendar, but you never let me put your best. You never let me say anything. Well, now I'm going to say what I've been wanting to say for 15 years. I quit.
Why, it's Saturday night. You can't quit.
You certainly can.
Mr. Farthing.
So can I.
Wait.
And I do. Goodbye.
Come back here.
I think from here on, Mr. Albright, it'll take a little more diplomacy than that.
Saturday. My biggest night. My employees quit. My store cluttered up with packing cases. I've got to have help.
May we help?
You. All of us.
We can get those cases unpacked.
And put all the things away before your Saturday night rush even begins.
Mr. Albright, have you a hammer and a pinch bar?
Cabinet 6, partition 8.
Jack, cabinet 6, partition 8. A hammer and a pinch bar.
Right, I'll have those cases open in a jiff.
Barbara, roll up your sleeves. Me too. You too, and pull up your socks. And in the meantime, Mr. Albright, if you'll give me the phone number of your employees, I'll try to get them back here after dinner.
What have we black coffee makers for, Mr. Albright?
Cabinet 3, you'll find set,
Between 2 and 4. We're catching onto your system, Mr. Albright. How about these 10 amp fuses?
Counter 5, tray 11.
Counter 5, tray 11. And Robert, put one of those fuses by the electric clock, just in case.
Well, I guess this is the last of it. Porcelain towel rack.
Cabinet 4, partition 7.
Yeah, now let's clean up this mess and take it out of here.
Alley 1, ask stand 6.
Alley 1, ask stand 6. Right.
Miss Greenwood.
Yes, Mr. Albright?
I'd like to speak to you.
Now, don't tell me I put the potato peelers where the pickle fork belongs.
On the contrary, Miss Greenwood, you put everything where everything belongs, including me.
Please, Mr. Albright, we just tried to help.
And you did extremely well. You got my merchandise distributed for me. You got my employees back. However, you mustn't get the impression that this kind of upset is the rule with me. On the contrary, it's the exception.
Oh, I know all about exceptions. I come face to face with them every day.
I may jump to conclusions, Miss Greenwood, but when I'm wrong, I jump at the opportunity to correct them.
I know.
Jasper Albright, you're just the man I want to see.
Matilda Hamilton.
Why, Charlotte, what are you doing here? I just found out what Jasper Albright did to you. And after all what I've been through today, that was all I needed. You've been shopping for a kitchen cabinet. Huh, what a dreamer I was, thinking I could get one for $12 or $15. One store had them on sale, $23.98. What do you think they were reduced from?
From a couple of defunct pine trees.
Charlotte, you wouldn't joke if you knew how desperate I am for a cabinet.
You are, eh? Say, why don't you and the mayor come over tonight?
Oh, we'd love to.
Well, now suppose we clear out of here.
Not so fast. I still haven't said what I came here to say.
And I haven't said what I started to say. Miss Greenwood, may I inform the other members of the Children's Recreation Committee that you have consented to serve as one of them?
Please do, Mr. Albright. For me, it marks the end of my visit to Lakeview and the beginning of my living here. Here it is, Matilda.
What do you think of it, Mrs. Hamilton?
It was lovely.
Who would ever think that an old bookcase could be turned into such a fine kitchen cabinet?
Well, Mayor Hamilton, Barbara made the design.
And just carried it out.
And I tailored it. And it's a perfect green for a kitchen cabinet.
Oh, then you'll buy it?
Of course I will.
Great golly, Waddy.
For $10 without a moment's hesitation.
Matilda, I can't believe it. You've actually got what you wanted at the price you wanted to pay.
It's the first time my wife ever got what she wanted at the price she wanted to pay.
Well, I think it's a beautiful job.
You see, children, when you work together with a single purpose, it's got to be a beautiful job.
It's just that spirit in you that made me feel certain you'd overcome any difficulty with Jasper Albright.
I admire Mr. Albright. He made a great discovery today.
What discovery did he make?
To devote years taking stock of 7,000 items takes too little time to take stock of yourself.
I have a notion you led him to that discovery.
I'm sure she did.
Miss Greenwood, you're a remarkable woman. You should have everything in the world, and I can't understand how you missed out on one thing.
You mean why I never married?
Well, yes.
It's very simple. I never found what I wanted at the price I was willing to pay.
Greenwood will be back in a moment. Meanwhile, I want to remind you again, the next time you buy a card for any occasion, look on the back for the identifying words, a Hallmark card. Hallmark. A Hallmark card. Like sterling on silver, those three words are your assurance of finest quality. You see, it's quality that has maintained Hallmark leadership for more than 30 years. Because Hallmark quality tells your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Just go to your dealer and say,
I'd like to see the Hallmark card, please.
For always remember,
The Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness.
and now, Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, Uncle Sam is asking us to help our food supply by canning all the vegetables and fruits that we can buy. By putting into cans and jars the summer's golden yield, the goodness of the rich warm earth for winter's usage field. Now, canning is very sensible. It saves you money, too. But when you can, there's something else more vital that you do. For every gleaming jar and can you put upon the shelf will represent not food alone, but something of yourself. It stands for all your careful work, your skill and patient care, and all the love you've spent to give your family proper fare. So when you open jars next year with wintry skies above, be glad it's not just food you canned. What you preserved was love. And now, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friends, until we meet again. So long, neighbor, till next Sunday, I shall say, so long.
This is Wendell Niles speaking. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show came to you from Hollywood. Whenever you have occasion to send a card, remember a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show. And here she is, that lovable lady of stage, screen, and radio, Charlotte Greenwood.
Today we tell a story about a little boy who knew the real meaning of home, and strangely enough, because he did.
This is the case for the juvenile authorities. Child neglect.
But, Sergeant, it isn't negligence. Mrs. Gordon is just confused.
You've got all the answers on the tip of your tongue, haven't you, Mrs. Greenwood?
I've had one answer there for years, but nobody pops the question. And it isn't Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Greenwood is brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards. To remind you that whenever you want to remember someone, you'll find a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. So when you choose a card, look on the back for the three identifying words, a Hallmark card. Yes, don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Town of Lakeview, where Aunt Charlotte cares for the three Bartons, Barbara, Jack, and Robert. As a member of the Lakeview Children's Recreation Committee, Aunt Charlotte has taken a group of children on a picnic. It's late afternoon, now as the outing draws to a close. Aunt Charlotte is saying,
Children, clean up everything now. Gather up all the papers. I'll get to keep an eye on them, Aunt Charlotte. You know how some people do things, hit or miss.
I certainly do. I never made a hit, and I'm still a miss.
Aunt Charlotte. So I guess I'll help the children.
Is that helping them, Barbara?
Sure. What's that out there on the lake?
Where, Robert?
Don't you see it? The big lobster at the pool with a funny-looking donkey on top.
That's my reflection.
Oh, no, Aunt Charlotte. He means over there on the opposite shore. Yeah.
Oh, that. Oh, that's a pile driver. They're building a dock.
For big ships?
No, for rowboats, sailboats, and canoes.
I'd rather be on a big ship.
Me too.
Now, Charlotte, is there anything you'd like better than a big, lustrous ship?
A little courtship.
Charlotte, we're one kid short.
Can I trust your arithmetic, Jack?
I'm no fooling. Someone's missing, but I don't know who. I know who's missing. It's Timmy Gordon. He's always missing.
You mean he always runs away, Robert?
No, he just hides.
I suppose there's a difference.
I'll find you next, Charlotte. But if you see somebody around, he won't come out. So can you hide behind that tree?
Oh, sure, and peek over the top. It'd be easier for the tree to hide behind me. But I'll get out of sight here.
Hey, Timmy! Hey, Timmy! Come on out wherever you are. You don't have to go home. You can come to my house for supper. You mean it? You're not just saying it, Robert. Sure, I mean it. Aunt Charlotte would be crazy to have you.
Gee, your aunt sure is swell.
Yes, she's okay.
Meaning old kangaroo?
Aunt Charlotte, I just asked Timmy to supper.
Oh, that's fine. Well, we'll phone his mother and get her permission.
I don't think anybody will be home on its time. My mother and father work all day. Yes, Charlotte. Timmy's mother's a welder.
Oh, that's wonderful, Timmy. Suppose we drop by your house and leave a note for her.
Well, I don't know if she'd like it on account she hasn't cleaned up the house yet on account of going to work. She could get sort of mad if I bring somebody in and it's not cleaned up yet.
Oh, well, I'll stand outside and tuck the note under the door, okay?
Okay, that'll be all right.
All right.
Timmy, that's that beat you to the bus. That's where you go. That's that beat you too.
Better play safe, Robert, and bet I can beat the bus.
This is where I live. Wait till I unlock the door. Timmy, is that you? Hey, Mom, I didn't expect to see you. Look, it's all cleaned up and everything for you to come in, Miss Greenwood.
Miss Greenwood?
Oh, I forgot, Mom. This is Robert Barton's home.
Oh, I'm glad to know you, Mrs. Gordon.
Charlotte Greenwood, the actor?
Well,
Please come in. My husband and I have been fans of yours.
I know, since you were children.
Oh, no, Miss Greenwood.
Well, Mrs. Gordon, I must say you look more like Timmy's sister than his mother.
Mom told me I don't have to go to your house for supper. Thanks, anyhow.
Timmy, that's not a very nice way to act. Oh, it's very understandable, Mrs. Gordon. Your being here was such a pleasant surprise to him.
Sure was.
Well, the truth of it is I just went in to get my pay today. See, they closed down the plant. Oh, that's right, of course. Yeah.
Gee whiz. That means we can go home.
No, Timmy. That means that your father and I can look for new jobs. My husband's at the station now trying to get train reservations for Chicago. We feel there's more chance in the big city.
But, Mom, you promised we wouldn't work no more after the war. You said we could go home.
Timmy, we'll talk about that later. I hope he behaved himself at the picnic today. Oh, Timmy's a fine little boy. Yeah, lately he's been sort of out of hand. But I haven't had much time to do anything about it. Where is your home, Mrs. Gordon? Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm a Philadelphia pepper pot. The kind of a little town that I came from doesn't belong on a map. I don't believe there's any such town.
It's a swell town. I had fun. We had a nice house, too.
Oh, nice house. Greenwood, I'm afraid he's boasting. We were papering and painting and all kinds of fixings. As it was, Mr. Gordon had a time making ends meet.
I could have a dog, too, couldn't I, Mom? If we were home. Miss Greenwood, I used to have a white one with black spots. Like polka dots.
Polka dots? Oh, Dalmatian, huh?
No, his name was Spot.
Oh, Timmy, they're fine dogs. You know, when we were kids, we used to wait near the firehouse, just so we could watch those polka dot dogs run every step of the way with the horses to the fire.
With them?
Yes, and you know, those fire horses wouldn't have answered the alarm without their pal going along.
We had horses on fire engines?
It's hard to believe, eh, Timmy? But they had them once upon a time when I was a little girl. That's kind of hard to believe, too, isn't it?
Gosh, I want a dog like I used to have.
Oh, Timmy, there are more important things than that. More important than a boy and his dog? Well, they don't allow dogs in this apartment. Besides, Timmy's got more toys and better clothes than he ever had. We ought to be grateful for him. Oh, I'm sure he appreciates all these things. Oh, goodness knows I do. Why, Miss Greenwood, before I went to work, I never owned a pretty dress. Times have changed, and I'm going to make the best of it. Your conversion may mean I can get a steady job. I thought reconversion meant, well, for one thing, giving a boy back his dog.
And me took over a hot stove. No, thanks. Mom, I'm hungry. Is he ready? Timmy, we're going downtown for dinner. Oh, I don't want to go downtown for dinner. I want to stay home. Stop talking, Timmy. Stop talking. What's come over you lately?
Could be an attack of reconversion. Play Chopin.
Is that what I'm playing?
Yes, dear.
That's good? Huh?
Oh, it's the very best.
Oh, I didn't know. Timmy showed me how to play it.
Timmy Gordon?
Yeah. He used to have a piano when he was home.
Did he take lessons?
Sure, from his mother. He said she used to play the piano awful good.
Hey, Ralph, can't you give that tune a little boogie-woogie bass?
Oh, Jack. Jack, haven't you any respect for the castle?
Well, sure. But I also like some good music. I'm going to go turn on the radio.
Well, Mr. Barton, that's your idea of good music?
And to prove it to you, Miss Greenwood, may I have your son?
Delighted, my sweet.
Hey, Father, look at me. Okay, Robert, come on. Oh, good. John, you're real hot.
You mean I'm a ducky skin cracker?
Yes. Hey, Barbara, look at that Johnny. Oh, he's a slick chick with a new twist on the lumber.
He's an old hen with a sail twist from the turkey trot. 1, 2, buckle my shoes.
3, 4, cut the door.
5, 6, a pickup, a trick.
7, 8, leave them straight.
And 9, 10, a big fat head.
Some of the dances they did when you were a girl.
Oh, no, I'm not dressed right, Barbara.
Oh, that's right.
No, I need a powdered wig and a hoop skirt.
Oh.
Well, there's nothing like a night at home with a body, is there? I mean, was there?
Now, who do you suppose that is?
Do we have to guess?
Oh, no, I'll go.
Turn off the radio, Jack.
Okay. Who is it, Barbara? It's a policeman, Aunt Charlotte.
Well, have him come in.
He wants to see you, Aunt Charlotte.
That's still a good reason to have him come in. Oh, good evening, officer.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Nolan, Miss Greenwood.
I'm glad to know you, Officer Nolan. This is Barbara, Jack, and Robert Barton.
Hello.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Gee, Gus, can you imagine having a real live cop sitting right in your own living room? He's not a cop, Robert. Well, he's got on a uniform.
Mr. Nolan is an officer.
Yeah, that's right, son. Anytime a cop comes in the front door, he's an officer.
If you're selling tickets for the annual ball, I'll buy some.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Miss Greenwood, but I didn't come for that.
What did you come for, sir? If nothing else, officer, we're direct.
And that's what I ought to be. You know, I've been standing outside your house not wanting to barge in on you, thinking you had a party.
Well, we did have one, a family party.
Well, it looks like I broke it up.
Oh, I was dancing with Jack, and I was ready to have the sponge thrown in, and I'm sure he was.
Oh, I think you're a pretty slick dancer, Aunt Charlotte.
As a matter of fact, Officer, Jack thinks I'm hip.
Well, I kind of think so myself, if you don't object to my saying it.
Object, Officer Nolan? Why, I have the greatest respect for the law.
You know, Miss Greenwood, I've been admiring you from a distance. Does that sound strange?
No, very familiar.
I see you every time you go into town. I'm traffic officer at 50 Springs.
Oh, of course. You stopped traffic the other day so I could catch my bus.
That's right.
You stopped traffic just so you could catch a bus? I call that pretty good.
Pretty good, yes, but you're good when you can stop traffic without the aid of the law.
Aunt Charlotte, please be serious.
Not until I have to. Do I have to be serious, Officer Nolan?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the little fellow means to you.
Little fellow? What little fellow?
Well, we picked him up hiding in the park. He won't tell his name or address or anything. Finally, he admitted knowing Robert Barton's Aunt Charlotte. Then he said something about an attack of reconversion.
Oh.
Then he insisted you knew all about dogs with polka dots. Can you make anything out of it?
Yes, I can, officer. It's Timmy Gordon. Where is he?
Well, we've got him at headquarters, and the sergeant would like to see you. Will you come with me now?
Of course, officer. Right away.
School days are here again, and thousands of youngsters are away in schools and colleges, in many cases, many miles from home. For these young hopefuls, it's a long stretch till the first holiday homecoming. And if you have a boy or a girl away at school, every letter or package or card you send can help combat that homesick feeling. Between letters, why not send a card to your youngster often? At your Hallmark dealers, there's always a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. For instance, your card can bring just a cheery everyday hello, or a heartwarming message telling your dear one how much you miss him. You can find clever, original cards packed with humor, dozens of them, enough to keep him grinning through the whole semester. And cards to say good luck when exam time comes around. If your youngster's birthday is due while he's away, naturally you'll want a card to remember him then, and on any special occasion. So make your selection this week. Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. Don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now back to the Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood show. Timmy Gordon, one of Robert's friends, has been picked up by the police and has refused to answer their questions. When finally he admitted knowing Robert Barton's Aunt Charlotte, the sergeant sent Officer Nolan to fetch her. We now find him at the police station. The sergeant is saying,
Well, Nolan, you certainly took your time.
Well, traffic's heavy tonight, Sergeant.
What's the matter? We out of sirens?
I'm here, Sergeant. Good evening.
Oh, this is Miss Greenwood, Sergeant.
I've seen the young lady.
Oh.
Around for years.
Well, Sergeant, I'd like to see Timmy Gordon.
Oh, so that's his name. Bring him out, Nolan. Yes. Miss Greenwood, where does this Timmy Gordon live?
In an apartment house on Maple Avenue.
Has he parents?
Oh, yes.
How long have you known him, Miss Greenwood?
Well, I only met him this afternoon.
I don't get it. You only met him this afternoon and he called for you instead of his mother.
Oh, I just happened to strike a sympathetic chord in him. It's very simple to win children over.
Simple, is it? We tried for 2 hours to get that kid to say something and he wouldn't open his mouth. We even tried to get a laugh out of him by making funny faces at him.
Well, that's where I got it on you.
What do you mean?
I don't have to make a funny face. I've got one.
Who hasn't?
Hello, Timmy. Everything's all right, Timmy.
Oh, gee whiz.
So you can talk, huh?
Don't be frightened. The sergeant just wants to help you.
I don't want to go home.
Is that why you were hiding in the park, son?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you go to dinner with your mother?
No, I ran away.
Are you in the habit of running away?
I guess so.
Doesn't your mother worry about you?
I can take care of myself.
Say, what kind of mother have you got?
Sergeant, it's not as bad as it sounds. Mrs. Gordon has been working in a plant.
Oh, another one of those things. We get more of these cases all the time. Nolan, take him into the other room, and I'll arrange for the juvenile authorities to take care of him tonight.
Yes, sir. Come along, young fella.
Will you come to me, Greenwood?
Yes, Timmy, but first I want to speak to the sergeant. Sergeant, you wouldn't call the juvenile authorities, would you?
I wouldn't, I am. This is a case for them. Child neglect.
Have you any children, Sergeant?
No, I'm not married.
Neither am I, but I have 3.
Huh?
Well, you see, I'm sort of an adopted aunt.
Oh. Well, Miss Greenwood, I'm going to get Mrs. Gordon down here and let her face the juvenile authorities. They'll handle it. I recognize the fact that Mrs. Gordon did a job for the war, but I can't overlook the fact that she neglected a child. We've had dozens of cases like this in the last few years. They're all alike.
You can't judge one person by another. Now, my mother was very pretty and attractive young woman, and look at me.
Miss Greenwood, are you trying to sidetrack me?
Oh, I certainly am not. We're both going in the same direction.
You mean I look like you?
Heavens, no.
That's a relief.
No, I mean we both want to help Timmy.
That's right.
Now, the best way to help Timmy is to help his mother.
Go on.
Well, from what I saw when I called on Mrs. Gordon, she's not a fundamentally negligent woman. She's just confused.
Miss Greenwood, the stage of reconversion we're going through is bound to bring confusion.
I'm inclined to believe, Sergeant, that our confusion was brought on by conversion rather than reconversion. It isn't logical for a woman like Mrs. Gordon to turn from housekeeper to welder without being confused.
Well, what do you suggest I do about it?
Would you release Timmy in my custody and let me take him to his mother?
What will you do then?
Take a chance that a woman's instinct to be a mother is stronger than her desire to be a welder?
I see. Well, all right. But let me warn you, Miss Greenwood, if this case comes to my attention again, I'll turn it over to the juvenile authorities immediately.
That's fair enough, Sergeant. You're a fine, understanding man. But I'm sure everybody has told you that.
Everybody except the one person I'd like to hear it from.
Your girlfriend?
She says I'd make a bad husband. What do you think?
At my age, there's no such thing as a bad husband. You'd never get out of there. Jack, things have come to a pretty pass when you have to pick your Aunt Charlotte up at the police station. Okay. You all right, Timmy? Yes, he's fine. Come along, Timmy, and I'll take you to your mother.
I don't want to see you.
Your mother?
He promised to take me back home, and now she's going to.
Is that why you ran away?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Timmy, would you like to go for a drive and then come to our house?
Oh, gee. I sure would.
All right, Jack, you take him in your car and bring him home in about an hour.
But Aunt Charlotte, where are you going?
I've got a little welding job to do.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Gordon, this is Charlotte Greenwood. I'm calling because...
I'll call you back later. I'm so upset. Timmy.
I know, Mrs. Gordon. I'm calling to tell you Timmy is all right. And if you'll meet me at my house, I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, thank you. I'll come right over.
I just had Jack take Timmy for a drive, and then I called you and came home, and that's the whole story.
Oh, Miss Greenwood, you've been very kind. I appreciate it. I'm sorry Timmy put you to such trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble, Mrs. Gordon.
He's a great trouble to me, Miss Greenwood. I do the best I can. I fix his meals before I go to work. And still, he runs away.
Well, maybe he doesn't like to eat alone.
I don't know what else to do with him under the circumstances. He was never like this back home.
Maybe home has something to do with it. Home doesn't depend on where it is, but what it is.
How are you going to make a person understand that?
How? You know, the boys will be home soon, and Timmy hasn't had any dinner. I'm going to fix up something for him.
Oh, no, Miss Greenwood. Please, don't bother.
Bother? This is going to be fun.
Fun?
Lucy, come into the kitchen, Mrs. Gordon.
Oh, Miss Greenwood, I do wish you wouldn't fuss.
Oh, I won't. Timmy will have to take potluck.
Potluck? You know, I haven't heard that expression for a long time.
Now, let's see what we've got here in the refrigerator.
What a lovely kitchen, Miss Greenwood. So nice and big.
The good thing it is, I'm hardly kitchenette size. Now, let's see. There's cottage cheese with peaches. That'll make a good salad. And milk and... My word, not a crumb of bread in the house.
Oh, that's all right. You said potluck, you know.
Oh, but boys need something to stick to their ribs, you know. I suppose I could make some biscuits.
Homemade biscuits. Even sounds good to me.
My biscuits always sound better than they taste. I made a batch for a picnic once, and everybody used them to keep the tablecloth from flying away.
You know, I used to have pretty good luck in making biscuits.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Well, here you are, Mrs. Gordon. With an apron, remember? You talked yourself into a job.
Miss Greenwood, I haven't cooked for so long.
You find the flour, salt, and baking powder right
in the cupboard. Yes, that's much I do remember.
How many biscuits do you think you should make?
Well, if you're planning on filling up 2 young boys, I'd say a lot of them, of course.
Oh! My goodness. Do you just toss the ingredients into a bowl like that without measuring?
Oh, anybody know how to do that.
Yeah, anybody but me. I'm not exactly a wow with the chow, as they say.
That didn't feel important.
Well, that's just our way of making him welcome.
Back home, he was always getting me to do special things for him. Of course, he was only a little fellow then.
How old is he now?
9.
Maybe we can help him recapture his youth. Well, the boys ought to be back in a few minutes now. Let's wait for them in the living room, shall we? You know, I hear you play the piano very well.
Oh, now, whoever told you that?
Oh, I got it through the grapevine system, you know. Timmy told Robert, and Robert told me, and...
I haven't played in years.
You haven't cooked for a long time either, and see what happened? Besides, Timmy would get a thrill if he came in and saw you at the piano.
Well, if you're not too particular, I'll try.
I'll go. That must be Timmy and Jack. You keep on playing.
Greenwood?
Yes?
I'm Mr. Gordon. My wife here?
Oh, yes, Mr. Gordon. Come in.
Oh, thanks.
Louise, I saw your note when I got home and came right over.
Well, you didn't have to come for me. I just wanted to let you know where I was.
Well, it's good you did. I got the tickets to Chicago. We're leaving tomorrow. Well, come on, Louise. Hadn't you better get Timmy so we can get going?
Fred, wait a minute, please. I don't want to go to Chicago.
Don't want to? But I've got the tickets. It was your idea.
Most people want to change the other fellow's idea, but when they change their own, I'm for it.
But she can't change this. We've planned it for weeks.
But, Fred, enough has happened in the last few hours to make me see what I haven't seen. The sea.
You've been unsettled about everything for the last 3 years. That's what I've seen. And it's about time we did something definite. You said you wanted to go to Chicago. Well, I've got the tickets and we're going.
Oh, Jimmy, don't stand in the hallway, honey. Come in.
Jimmy, come back. Jack, catch him.
I've got him here, Charlotte. Come on, young fella. Inside.
Jimmy. You fool me. You found my mother's body and he takes it away. They won't go with him.
Well, maybe they'll go with you.
Timmy, what do you mean? What kind of talk is that?
Means he's trying to run away.
Run away from home?
No. He's running away from what isn't a home.
What are you talking about?
A home, Mr. Gordon. Home isn't a place, it's a feeling. It's a feeling given and shared by a family, where a mother and a father and their children live, not just stay. It's a woman's home for a man, if you can catch the man.
We used to have a home like that.
I know. If you hadn't given Timmy a home like that, he wouldn't miss it so.
So that's it, huh, Timmy? Well, I'll tell you something. I've missed it myself.
Yeah? You know what, Timmy? What, Mom? I'm going to give you my tool test. With old steel tools? Oh, boy. And I'm going to get the grease out of my head. And I'm going to get that electric stove I've always wanted.
Maybe we can find a house where I can have a spare room for my work.
Please, Frankie. You see, Miss Greenwood, Frankie Carpenter is Fred's hobby. Men just seem to want a hobby around the house.
Men do?
Yes.
Tomorrow I start to develop a hobby.
Again, the next time you buy a card for any occasion, look on the back for the identifying word, a Hallmark card. Hallmark. A Hallmark card. Like sterling on silver, those 3 words are your assurance of finest quality. You see, it is quality that has maintained Hallmark leadership for more than 30 years. Because Hallmark quality tells your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Just go to your dealer and say,
I'd like to see the Hallmark card, please.
Or always remember that
a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness.
And now, Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, someone I know said yesterday, now that the war is done, I'm going to spend my energy in simply having fun. My wartime duties all are past. My sacrifices, too. And now I'll do for happiness just what I like to do. I wondered, as I heard her, if the happiness she sought would ever be so simple and as pleasant as she thought. For duty, work, and sacrifice are not unhappy things. Your sacrifice to someone else, unmeasured pleasure brings. And simply doing what you like can soon begin to pall. You often find there's nothing left you like to do at all. So here's the rule for happiness. So often proven true. Don't merely do the things you like, but like the things you have to do. And now, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friends, until we meet again. So long, neighbor, till next Sunday, I shall say, so long. So long.
This is Wendell now speaking. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show comes to you from Hollywood. This is the American Broadcasting Company.
3 o'clock at KECA, Los Angeles. Transcribe. Whenever you have occasion to send a card, remember a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show. And here she is, that lovable lady of stage, screen, and radio, Charlotte Greenwood.
Hello, friends of Sankey Wendell. Today we tell a story of Lakeview's earliest citizen who finds the answer to his oldest problem in one of our youngest citizens.
Well, woman, don't stand there wasting my time. If you got anything to say, come on in and say it.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Crane.
For some reason, I've heard more about you than any other woman in town, Mrs. Greenwood.
Well, there's more of me than any other woman in town. And it isn't Mrs. Greenwood, it's Miss Greenwood.
Oh, well, I'm sorry for that.
You're sorry.
Charlotte Greenwood has as her special guest today the beloved and distinguished star of stage, screen, and radio, Mr. Lionel Barrymore. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Greenwood is brought to you this Sunday and every Sunday at this time by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards to remind you that whenever you want to remember someone, you'll find a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say the way you want to say it. So when you choose a card, look on the back for the 3 identifying words, a Hallmark card. Yes, don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now to the little town of Lakeview, where Aunt Charlotte is raising the 3 barking youngsters, little Robert and teenage Barbara and Jack. It's late afternoon. Matilda Hamilton and Charlotte are walking home from a marketing session. Charlotte is saying,
Matilda, I love to go shopping with you. It's always so much fun. You were lucky today, Charlotte, getting that can of salmon. How'd you ever see it? Way up there on the top shelf.
Oh, I just looked down and there it was. Oh, my, but Lakeview is wonderful this time of year.
It is at that. Look over there at those lovely red maples.
Mm-hmm. They even managed to make that big, lonely old house look sort of nice and warm.
Which is quite a trick, considering its occupant, Simon Crane.
He's the owner, Simon Crane?
He is. And his father was before him, and his father before him, and his father before him.
Is that hearsay, or do you remember that?
I remember.
You would.
You weren't in Lakeview at the time, were you?
No, I was in my cradle.
Now, here, I remember writing you about it.
Well, I never got the letter.
Well, the Pony Express didn't always get through.
Same old Matilda.
You know, that place of Simon's is one of the town's oldest landmarks. They tried to buy it, but he won't sell. It's the original town meeting hall.
Oh, the original town meeting hall?
Mm-hmm. Only goes to prove that this is a one-horse town.
Nonsense. There are 2 of us right here.
You know, I'm just thinking of the names I've heard Simon Crane called. Trusted, suspicious, skinflint. Well, those are the milder ones.
I'm sure there's plenty of good in Simon's makeup if somebody takes the trouble to find it.
Charlotte, you say that about all people.
It's true, Matilda. Whatever else he may be, Simon Crane is certainly people. Well, Matilda, thanks for walking with me to the bus.
So we're going to get a new car as soon as the auto companies start reconverting for more production.
I sat in one of the first open roadsters off the reconversion line.
That must have been quite a sensation.
It was. While I was sitting in it, a fellow came out and said, gee, they forgot to take the anti-aircraft gun off that one.
Hey, Charlotte, you should see how funny the living room looks. Dad was moving all the furniture.
Your sister is having a dancing party tonight.
Dancing party? They just sit around and dance?
It's an idea. I never tried it sitting down. Dancing is fun, Robert.
Well, it certainly can't be any fun on a cottage floor.
Oh, that's what I like best.
Why?
Oh, it makes me think I've got a partner.
Oh, boy, we sure gave it to him today, huh, Aunt Charlotte? Which Cooper took a pass on our 20-yard line and he went over standing up.
Yeah, well, judging from your face, you didn't do much standing up.
Hiya, Robert.
Greetings, Dick. Charlotte, do you think girls will ever play football?
Never. There's one big obstacle to prevent it.
What's that?
You'll never get 11 women to wear the same kind of a hat. Jack, how are you standing up in your studies?
Oh, I'm worried, Aunt Charlotte. I got to pass all my exams to be eligible to play, so I got to cram like a crazy square.
Oh, when is this all going to happen?
Right away tonight, as soon as supper's over.
Did I hear someone say supper? What about it, Aunt Charlotte? Can we eat soon? I still have loads to do before the gang comes.
Gang? What gang? Barbara, who's coming and why?
A few of my friends, Mr. Barton. You know I do have some.
Yeah, but you can't have them here tonight.
Oh, I can't.
Point of order.
What's that, Charlotte?
Well, that's in a meeting, Robert, when everyone starts talking at once and things go off the beam. Now, look, children, I gather that you're all anxious to eat and finish early.
Yeah, and I've got to study.
Well, then, suppose you wash the football field off your face. Come to think of it, my face looks like a football field, too.
What do you mean?
Wherever you look, there's lines. Barbara, would you set the table, please? And Robert?
Point of order, Aunt Charlotte.
All right. What is it, darling?
I think something's burning. Oh, heavens, it's the soup. It's the meat.
It's the potatoes.
Well, who's that?
Oh, probably a fire insurance salesman.
Isn't this the most peachy-weechy evening? I mean, it's actually peachy-weechy. And I'm the most popular girl here. And all because I subscribe to a course.
Oh?
How to become popular in 1 year by buying a personality book every month. The first book says if you carry yourself right, the boys will stare at you. I mean, they really do. I mean, they do really. I mean, the book is right. I mean, they really stare.
I see. Get the look of the month from the book of the month, eh?
Can you see it from way up there?
Oh, and Gertrude, it works. You know, Jerry Stewart over there is staring at you. I think he wants to dance with you.
I know, but I'd rather dance with a tall fella. I mean, I really would. I mean, I would really. I mean, you don't bump into everybody when you've got a tall partner. Is that the way it is with you?
Yes, if he's tall enough to use my belt buckle for a rear view mirror.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Miss Greenwood, I think I'll really dance. I mean, I really will. I mean, oh, hello, Sylvester.
Hello there. Miss Greenwood. Jack wants to see you upstairs right away. Oh, what is it, Sylvester?
Dunno.
Well, didn't Jack say what it was?
Yes.
Yes, well, what did he say it was?
Very important.
Oh, never mind, I'll go right up. What is it, Jack?
It's that racket downstairs and me trying to study. Gee whiz, Aunt Charlotte, what could be tougher than trying to concentrate on history while listening to Harry James?
Trying to concentrate on Harry James while looking at Betty Grable.
But seriously, Aunt Charlotte, why did Barbara have to pick on this house?
No, it's her house too, son. There's nothing wrong with Barbara having her friends here to dance.
No, and there's nothing wrong with my trying to study either.
No, I know that's right, Jack, but the point is this. Now,
Aunt Charlotte?
Yes, come in, Barbara.
Aunt Charlotte, is it all right?
It seems to me, Barbara, that you could find someplace else to dance.
What's eating you?
Point of order, children. Now, tell me, Barbara, is this get-together going to be a regular affair here?
Why, yes. Most of the parents don't like the kids to go dancing at those places on Shore Road.
Well, I agree with them.
And the restaurants are too expensive for us. Besides, we have such a swell phonograph here, and the house is bigger than most of the others.
But I've got to study.
Well, I like that. A girl can't have a friend to her own home.
Oh, dry up.
Children, a house divided cannot stand.
Why, that's what Lincoln said.
I know. I was there when he said it. Now, presumably the answer to this can't be found in the Barton house.
I should say not. They ought to hire a hall.
But what other house is there to meet in?
Other house? Oh, there's a thought. I wonder. Children, am I or am I not the president of the Lakeview Children's Recreation Committee?
Well, yes, you are, but I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I haven't got it yet, but I'm going to make a try at getting it bright and early in the morning.
Hello, Miss Greenwood. Don't know why we're calling on Simon Crane. Don't know what help I can be.
Well, Sylvester, you and Robert and I are about the three most different people you could find. Now, one of us is bound to hit it off with Simon Crane.
He's coming now. I hear him.
Well, I'll knock again just to make sure.
Watch him for in a hurry. Patience isn't going to open that door. You can either wait for me or go about your business. I don't care which. Oh, quite a delegation. I suppose I ought to be honest.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Crane. Forgive us for disturbing you.
Disturb me? I paid my taxes and I don't owe a penny in the world. You can't disturb me, madam.
Take a second look.
Yeah, well, I see what you mean.
Unfortunately, it's Miss Charlotte Greenwood.
Greenwood? Seems like I heard that name.
You may have. I'm an actress.
You must have talent.
What makes you say that?
Second look I took.
How right you are.
Let's see now. I know you from someplace. Oh, you're the woman who's raising those Martin children.
Oh, take a bow, Robert. This is the youngest, Mr. Crane.
Hi.
And this is my good friend, Sylvester Adams.
Oh,
I took the liberty of calling on you because Sylvester's from New England, and he doesn't believe we know how to build our old meeting halls in this part of the land.
Doesn't he? Well, we built him to stand. He can see that for himself.
Also, it's time Robert learned some American history firsthand.
It's time someone in this town did. It's time someone remembered what this place means to this town. And stop thinking of it as a piece of real estate to make a profit on.
Exactly, Mr. Crane. So you see that...
So you thought you'd come and call on old Simon Crane, huh? That's pretty good, Miss Greenwood, but not good enough. You're not fooling me.
Oh, it's the truth, Mr. Crane.
But not the whole truth. Is that it?
Well, I thought we could talk about that inside.
Now it comes out, does it? Well?
May we come in, Mr. Crane?
You want to come in, do you? Well, I'm not stopping you. But there's not a sharp trick I don't know. So it won't do you any good trying to pull your feminine charms on me.
Oh, I don't know about that. I was the sweater girl of my day.
Sweater girl?
While the rest of the girls were out dancing, I was home knitting. Now, may we come in?
These days, thousands of our boys are wearing the honorable discharge emblem, and yet thousands more are still in uniform. Wherever they are, the thought of home is closest to their hearts. And your letters, your cheery, colorful cards, can help see them through till their homecoming. This week, make it a point to go to your Hallmark dealers. Choose a variety of cards to send to the servicemen you know. For instance, choose a number of cards, each with a different message and design, and send one every so often to tell your serviceman he's in your thoughts. You'll find so many unusual Hallmark cards, some with affectionate personal sentiments, some with just a friendly hello. They're clever cards, packed full of good old American humor. And don't overlook those Hallmark cheer cards that can do so much for a fellow in sick bay, or a GI who's just plain blue. There's always a Hallmark card that says just what you want to say, the way you want to say it. So remember those homesick heroes regularly. Hallmark cards are on display at America's finest stores. Don't forget, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Now back to the Hallmark Charlotte Charlotte Greenwood Show. Barbara wants to give dancing parties at their house. Jack demands quiet to study. And as a first step towards solving this problem, Aunt Charlotte, Robert, and Sylvester have called upon old Simon Crane, whose home was the original Lakeview Town Meeting Hall. Charlotte is saying,
This is a big but friendly room, Mr. Crane.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, still. Never did see a meeting hall as big as this one. Down east in Maine, never did. No. Lumber's too precious, I guess.
Lumber. Man, you're looking at black walnut. Every board foot of this room is black walnut. The walls, the floor, benches, everything. Why, some of the trees were over 100 years old.
Gee, how can you tell?
From the rings, son, from the rings. You can tell many things about a tree from the rings it's got.
You can tell one thing about me from the ring I haven't got. Black walnut is pretty rare these days, isn't it, Mr. Crane?
Rare? There isn't a lick of black walnut left in these parts, except for what I got stored in the basement.
Basement? Jimmy, could I? Aunt Charlotte, could I?
Well, ask Mr. Crane.
Want to do a little exploring, huh? Basements and boys. Now, go on. Go ahead. It's right through that door there. Mind the stairs.
I think maybe I'll go with him.
Be careful, Robert. Okay, Aunt Charlotte.
Yeah, nothing down there to hurt him. It makes a difference having a youngster in the place.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It's been... Now, madam, suppose you speak your mind. It's been 30 years since the body came pleasure calling on Simon Crane, so I know it ain't that.
Well, it's been a pleasure so far.
Don't soft-soap me with your feminine wiles.
Mr. Crane, I couldn't soft-soap any man because, romantically speaking, I've been washed up for years.
Why did you come here?
Well, why do you think I've come here?
You want my property, that's why. Everybody does. Worth a lot of money, they say. That being the case, it's worth a lot for me to hold on to it.
Oh, you'd be foolish to sell it.
Now, that... You're the first person... Now, look here, Miss Greenwood. I'm a deal older than you.
You're the first one to ever admit it. But if you'd like to reminisce, I might surprise you.
Madam...
It's Miss.
Don't interrupt. Out with it. How much are you offering?
How much, Mr. Crane? If you'd said how little, that would have been more like it.
You weren't born yesterday.
Both of us are getting more truthful.
All right. How little are you offering?
Not a penny. I couldn't offer anything if I wanted to.
You're either more honest than anyone who ever came here, or more slick. I've seen plenty come and go. I've been here a good long time. Might even say I'm a historic figure.
You might even say the same thing about me.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I've got a figure like the Washington Monument.
The higher you go, the more you come to the point, huh? Never thought there was a soul in this town didn't come here to do me out or something. Well, sit down. Sit down here and tell me all about yourself.
That's the story of Aunt Charlotte and the Barton children.
Heap of responsibility, I say.
Well, in a way, I feel about them the way you do about this fine old meeting hall, a sort of trust.
Jimmy, is that ever a teen basement, Aunt Charlotte? Golly, you ought to see all the little wooden... Gee, Sylvester said they must be cribs.
Yeah, for babies.
Is that right, Mr. Crane? They're so small.
Yeah, small babies in those days.
Those days ended when I was born.
Come here, son. Sit down. I'll tell you about those cribs. That's just what they are. Baby cribs.
Why are the cribs down there?
Well, that's where they were kept, son. When the women folk of Lakeview came to the town meetings, they put their babies in those cribs downstairs. One lady'd watch over them while the rest attended the meeting.
What about the men?
Stop taking the words out of my mouth.
I'd like to show the boy what's upstairs.
Upstairs? Golly, you ought to see the stuff in our attic. Would you come over sometime, Mr. Crane?
I don't do much calling these days.
Sylvester, wouldn't you say Mr. Crane has the look of a good fly fisherman?
Well, no. Yes.
Miss Greenwood, How'd you know I was a fisherman?
Oh, I can spot one right away. My father was a fisherman.
He was?
Yeah, but I didn't turn out to be much of a catch.
You know, Mr. Crane, I got some mighty fine trout flies. Yeah. I never cast, but what is the strike?
That's a rock-bound New England boaster if I ever heard one.
How are you on old-fashioned cream pie, Mr. Crane?
Crazy about it. Not that they know how to make it these days.
Oh, don't they? Well, you come over to the house tonight and I'll make you eat those words along with the pie.
Well, now...
Oh, Charlie, would you? I'll show you the attic.
And there's my trout flies.
It sounds like I'm being outvoted.
Yes, sir. 3-1.
Hold on, now, not so fast. You still haven't told me why you came here. You realize that, young woman?
Oh, I can resist anything but flattery. There are two reasons, Mr. Crane. One is old-fashioned cream pie, and the other is the Lakeview Children's Recreation Committee, of which I happen to be president.
Yes. I can't say I see the connection.
Oh, but you will.
I still think you're trying to do me out of the house.
Then play safe when you come over tonight.
How?
Don't bring the house with you.
Oh, gosh, you're hip. I never knew Lakeview had a past like that.
You're not fooling me with those yarns of yours, Mr. Crane. Go on, take a third helping of pie.
I couldn't.
Why not?
Just finished my fourth.
We'll take a fifth.
Miss Greenwood, another piece would be rank folly in my condition. Battlefield is not the only place where discretion's a better part of valor.
No, there's the matrimonial field, too. Jack, if you want to study, you're excused from KP tonight.
Well, gee, why didn't I get a break like that last night? Aunt Charlotte, is he going to start that business all over again? Yes, I am. If Barbara's going to pick the nights I have to study to invite those squares over here to dance.
Don't tell me the young ones are taking up square dancing, yeah?
Square, Mr. Crane, is a jive expression.
Jive?
Jitterbug, don't you follow me?
I don't think very well on an empty stomach. Pass me another piece of pie.
Oh, now you're cooking on the front burner.
Hey, Aunt Charlotte, what's going to be about that dancing? Oh, really, Aunt Charlotte? This is hardly the time in front of a complete stranger.
How's that, young lady? You can't call a man who's eaten a meal like this a stranger. I suspect a little trouble in the Barton paradise, Miss Greenwood.
Oh, it's nothing at all. You see, Jack is studying for his midterms, and Barbara's friends are having dancing get-togethers here at the house, and...
the two don't mix,
Mr. Crane, you're so understanding. Now, in Barbara's case...
Aunt Charlotte, you know there really isn't another house that's suitable.
Oh, let's not talk about it now.
Why not, young fella? Why not? What better time? Now I say there never was a problem made by man that couldn't be solved by man. That right, Miss Greenwood?
Oh, you couldn't prove that by me. The fact is, it isn't a Barton problem, it's a Lakeview problem.
Lakeview, of course. There should be a place where the youngsters could get together and enjoy themselves.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Of course, I should have thought of that as head of the Recreation Committee.
Recreation? Now you've hit it. A place where they can dance and play.
Yeah, now you've hit it.
The Dramatic Society could use it. We could have a game room and ping-pong tournament.
Say, in all this excitement, did anyone stop to think there is such a place?
There is? There really is?
There most certainly is. There's my place.
Your place?
My place served the town well enough for many a year as the original meeting hall, and it's high time we put it to work again.
Gee, God!
Golly, Harry!
Crickets. Now, young man, what's your long face for?
Well, sir, it sounds great, but I know what a big place like yours would cost to rent. And, gee, we couldn't swing it.
Well, suppose all the young children in Lakeview were interested.
You mean set up a regular organization with dues?
Why not? And we charge for dances and shows. We could make enough money to pay the rent that way, I'll bet.
Mr. Crane, the floor is yours. How does that last proposal strike you?
Well, I'll tell you. It doesn't.
Oh.
No, it doesn't strike me at all.
See? I told you.
It doesn't strike me because I'm not interested in business deals. That old building of mine rendered this town a public service.
And that's the reason you'd never sell it and see it turned into a laundry or a roadhouse?
That's right, young woman.
Mr. Crane, do you mean that you Mr. Crane's not through yet, Jack?
You youngsters have shown the right kind of spirit, the spirit we need in this town. I don't intend to make any profit off you.
You don't?
Of course not. What do you think I am? A square?
Well, gee, that's great, but you still have to charge us enough rent to pay the taxes, and we couldn't raise enough for that.
Taxes.
Speaking of taxes, I asked the city council this very afternoon if a non-profit young people's recreation club could be tax exempt.
Oh, golly, that was smart.
No, just practical.
Well, hey, but what happened?
The decision, ladies and gentlemen, is that such a club, if put into operation without cost to the town, would be tax-free.
Oh, 1 minute, friend.
Children, Mr. Crane wants to say something.
3 things. 1, as long as there'll be no taxes, there'll be no rent either. I propose that your dues be used to buy phonograph records and all the other paraphernalia you'll need to fix this place up. Second, now that we have a place to hold dances, I propose a toast to the president of the Lakeview Children's Recreation Committee.
I second that. Oh, what do we toast with?
I suggest another round of old-fashioned cream pie.
I'm way ahead of you this time, Simon Crane. Look on your plate. Third proposal?
For the inaugural dance and party, I'll furnish the cake and soda pop and trimming. On one condition.
Oh, I thought I detected a gleam in the man's eye.
Since you'll all be going in couples, I'd like to be in step with the crowd. I'd like to have I guess you'd call it a date myself. That's my condition.
That's your condition now, but you'll be in no condition when I get through with you after the party. Shall I dress formal?
Formal? I thought you were modern. Hep in the groove.
I am. I'm your grooverini.
Solid.
Oh, and I'm honored to accept your invitation, sir.
Remind you again, the next time you buy a card for any occasion, look on the back for the identifying words, a Hallmark card. Hallmark. A Hallmark card. Like sterling on silver, those 3 words are your assurance of finest quality. They tell your friends you cared enough to send the very best. Yes, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. And now, Charlotte Greenwood.
Friends, we hear a lot of talk these days about atomic power. The part it plays in war or peace are topics of the hour. A force so great must be controlled. On that we're all agreed. The world must never let it serve for conquest or for greed. And yet I wonder if you've thought that all of us possess a force more powerful in its way to give out happiness. A force that's ended many wars, that's changed the lives of men. A force whose use is up to you. The force that's called the pen. For pens are mightier than swords, as time has proven true, not only in the affairs of state, but individuals too. So let's all turn this force we own to good and rightful ends. Let's use our pens on cards and notes to make and keep our friends. And now, until next Sunday at the very same time, this is Charlotte Greenwood saying, so long, friends, until we meet again. So long, neighbor, till next Sunday.
Hired to the courtesy of Metro Golden Mayer, producers of Weekend at the Waldorf. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show came to you from Hollywood. This is Wendell Niles speaking. The Hallmark Charlotte Greenwood Show is written by Leon Meadow, Phil Cole, and High Alexander. The part of Sylvester is played by Ian Wolfe, Martin Sheldon, Barbara, Robert, and Jack, played by Marvin Island, Bobby Larson, and Edward Island.
Ray O'Clock at KECA, Los Angeles. Transcribed.